Detective. Detective.
Well, he just...
Detective. I'm sorry
The
about
cop
this.
just bullied by that
I'm
guy,
sorry.
and this dude's
We
like,
met Jean-Claude.
I think I'm insert every adjective imaginable, mostly negative. Insert, pick anything.
Hello, everybody. This is episode 16 of WINO Forever, the Depping podcast. I'm Sarah, and I'm joined by Arm. And we are getting into, we got some Depp news, but we're going to get into part 2 of The Devil and Misheard. This is kind of her realizing she's been a little over the top and trying to self-soothe and soothe him and make him fall in love with her again. So her audio is a little low because she's trying to remain calm. She has a few moments of being herself.
Fake demure.
Yeah, he should be fine. Of course, he has moments where he mumbles too. We all know that.
Which personality is that? A 6 of borderline personality disorder, Roseanne?
6 of 15.
It's
So we got some Depp news.
yeah. I'll get into that. You want to see crazy? I'll show you crazy. Here's oh, you're crazy right here.
Glug glug.
Can you hear the pour? Nah, it's too soft. I don't have the goblet sounds of the sweeter acoustics.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have you like voice crack, Peter Brady.
Yeah. Let's find out why.
I may be going through puberty now.
You want me to check? I'm just kidding.
Who did he say that to? I may be going through puberty right now. Oh, I think it was James Lipton inside the Actors Studio.
Oh, okay,
interview,
yeah.
2002. By the way, anyone listening, Sarah and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago, just before we went on. If anybody can find the unedited version of that, I tried to go to that. I was living in Park Slope, Brooklyn, which is a 20-minute, half-hour subway ride with stops, non-express, away from where inside the Actors Studio is on 14th Street and I believe 6th Avenue at the New School is where they record that. So I found out where they were recording it. It was like the internet was not great then. You could look stuff up, but it wasn't. You still were fighting the dial-up connection, and things were slow, and websites were underdeveloped. No, it didn't. I went out there and couldn't get in. It's reserved for the students that go to the school. I tried to sneak in. I could have been a little more aggressive. I just decided not to. And waiting, hanging around. Went and got something to eat. Went and did some people watching. It's all of a sudden, before you know it, 2.5 hours flies by, and there's all this commotion starting up. Doors fly open. 4 security guards come up. 2 black guys, 2 white guys. The racial breakdown of that. A black Lincoln Navigator pulls up in front of the place. Depp comes out, head down, hair over his eyes, kind of graciously signing autographs, but not making any kind of eye contact whatsoever. People are just swarming him. I'm kind of in the mix, and I'm looking at it. It felt really creepy being there. It felt very uncomfortable. It's not even remotely "don't meet your heroes" thing. It was just like it felt. I couldn't get into the frenetic, psychotic, fan, aggressive. You'd want the one-on-one meeting. I'm not gonna sit there, and I just couldn't get into the the harassment side of like, I don't care about autographs. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of in the mix, and it's very much a mob scene and just chaos. And, I'm sort of like boxing out like I'm Otis Thorpe in 1990 or something, just to see. And he's just getting, he's signing stuff, and they're pushing him into the car and stuff, and he's kind of mumbling, and they finally push him into a Lincoln Navigator. He speeds off, heading east towards the East Village. I bet you that's where he was going to. And it felt really creepy being there. Just some kind of weird energy that ain't what you thought it was going to be, kind of thing. But nevertheless, I don't regret doing it. It was just the experience of seeing that whole thing. But the Inside the Actor Studio interview, which ended up being 44 minutes of TV time that aired on Bravo, cut for commercials, 40 to 44 minutes or something like that. It was actually 2.5 hours. And some people that went to news school, or people who did get into that, started to report about what they, in the interview, that they heard what was in it as opposed to what aired on TV. And apparently they cut out half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's double what it really was. I mean, he never talks about Blow. He never talks about, there's like 5 different movies. Apparently he reveals in that he was up for Ferris Bueller after Matthew Broderick.
Mm-hmm.
And that never made it out, which is crazy to think that Bravo would think to cut that.
Yeah, well, their idea of what Johnny Depp fans want to hear is, vastly different than what Johnny Depp fans want to hear.
But my point is, you got this cable station, you got to fill time. What else do you have to do? What else do you have to put on that channel? I mean, at the time, Robin Williams was getting 2 hours. I think Alec Baldwin got 2 hours. I think, to give him, it was a huge event. It was like a really big deal to get him to do this. He wasn't very interview friendly at the time. Like, he was very claiming to be allergic to general interviews and stuff. So he did this, and I'm thinking it was a huge event as far as a get for them. And it's like, give him, you filmed it, do the 2 hours. Who would complain? You've had 5 or 6 other actors that had the 2-hour special, and you're just going to cut him down to this disappointing kind of. And when you watch it, you could see the edits. You could go, okay, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
And he's jumping around timelines and stuff. And you're going, okay, there's a big chunk missing here. And if anybody, was it ever released on like a Blu-ray or something? I thought I heard a rumor that it was. To this day, I've looked and looked and looked, and I can't dig it up. So if anybody has any line on if there's an extended director's cut version of his Inside the Actor Studio, I would love to get a line on it. And we can trade whatever.
I would love to watch that too on an episode.
Yeah. Did you see the original?
I know I have. Yeah.
Most Depp heads, even at that time, this is 2002, I think. Mm-hmm. We knew all this stuff. This is like a copy and pasted interview by the numbers. James Lipton's acting like he has some, smoking gun, hot scoops in the thing. There was almost nothing I didn't know from a print interview but the Ferris Bueller stuff I didn't know at the time. That would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird too, because Jennifer Grey plays Broderick's sister in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, she does.
And Charlie Sheen has a cameo. Remember, he's in the police station, and he
yes.
So there's this whole like kind of platoon, 6 Degrees of Depp circle jerk in that movie. Jeffrey Jones plays Rooney.
Are we allowed to mention
Tim Burton
him?
Actor. I know. I think Jeffrey Jones is going to be thrown in his face. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, that succubus is going to use everything.
You can't be responsible for every deviant
I
that
know.
you come across
You're
in your
absolutely
life.
right. You're absolutely right. But you know how this legal team is going to approach this.
Yeah, they've got other stuff to do
full
with.
Me Too. It's going to go full.
Mm-hmm.
It's disturbing because Depp gets lumped in now. When you read, and I'm sure this pisses off any Depp head, when you Google him on a day-to-day basis, there's almost a week that can't go by where he's not now lumped in with Kevin Spacey and Mel Gibson and Harvey Weinstein. They're throwing his name in with these cretins.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know he's walking several thousand feet higher off the ground than any of these people. But I tell you, to the novice civilian, to the people who don't immerse themselves completely in this, they're thinking of him in those terms, and that's really, really disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
That he could be. I mean, that's just. What's the word I'm looking for? It is. Blasphemous is the word, or too. What is the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. I'm just to regularly see his name lumped in with those people is not. Cosby was another one. I mean, it's a completely different deal, but they love to. I mean, there's a whole sect of media that's looking to take him down.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all, probably less so, but he's now being lumped in with those names, and I can't take it.
Well, hopefully he has a few weapons in his back pocket.
Defamation of character.
Okay.
Which is really what the UK trial is about, and
Mm-hmm.
and to the Virginia trial as well.
Yep.
From the Washington Post article.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to read here to answer Judy Tanunu about the movie Black Mass and Whitey Bulger and Judy Tanunu not liking it. We were trying to go over like what might be wrong with the movie. I mentioned that the scene of the black kids getting bussed in and the Winter Hill gang stop, and they cut that scene out. And there's a bunch of scenes. So there was never really a director's cut released to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an article about Whitey Bulger. This is from about 3 years ago, and it just surfaced where his death. They wrote this article about him in Black Mass and what he thinks about it. James Whitey Bulger, the notorious Boston gangster who was found dead Tuesday in a prison cell, reluctantly had his pop culture breakthrough in 2015's Black Mass, portrayed by one of the biggest stars in the world, Johnny Depp. Bulger, who eluded authorities for 16 years before being captured and convicted of participating in 11 murders in 2013, wasn't a fan of Depp's performance. Depp donned heavy prosthetics, as he didn't want to. We found out in the Jacobs transcript.
Part
Stained
4.
his teeth, part 4. Stained his teeth yellow and wore blue contact lenses to capture Bulger's stare in the gritty role. The actor said his aim was to bring out Bulger's human side. It would have been easy to dive into this thing as it were just simply a gangster film, Depp said when Black Mass was unveiled at the Toronto Film Festival. Director Scott Cooper made it a story about people, Depp added, present the people wants and all, and then allow their personality to kind of way of life to reveal themselves. High-profile figures, especially those spending the rest of their life in prison, will often meet with a high-profile star to discuss aspects of their lives. Very reminiscent, as Depp heads know, to George Young. And when Depp did Blow, he kept going up to Otisville prison to meet with George Young to get his essence. And Young was very, very embracing of it all and the attention.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same thing. But not Bulger, who was 86 at the time and in a Florida prison when Black Mass hit theaters nationwide. He refused to meet or correspond with Depp during the filming. He let his defense attorney, Hank Brennan, do the talking. Brennan runs a tight ship. You know that, right?
Sarah? I've dealt with him a few times. Just this week.
Yeah.
So my brain is fried.
Hank Brennan.
My brain is fried from dealing with him this week. My God.
There's nothing worse than a Brennan cease and desist. It just takes you out at the knees.
I got a pile of them.
Brennan compared Depp's portrayal to the star's fantasy role in Alice in Wonderland. Wow. So Bulger's a Depp head, huh? Has he seen The Astronaut's Wife?
Do
I
they
bet you I've seen
detail?
The Astronaut's Wife more than Bulger has.
I don't want to jump ahead. I don't want to spoil it. This is a good article so far. Do they describe his death in this article?
The death's crazy, right? Because he's in a he gets knocked off in
Very brutal
a
way.
yeah, in a Santa Monica like condo. He's leaving it or something, and he
Whitey
gets
Bulger?
yeah.
No, he died in prison.
Oh, what the hell am I thinking of? What am I thinking of with? No, he stowed away in a Santa Monica,
Okay.
and that was where he was hiding out.
Okay.
And then he's yeah,
He was
his murder
beaten.
in prison is yeah,
Oh God. Anyway. Okay.
yeah. And that was how yeah, that was crazy. You're so right. Johnny Depp might as well have been playing the Mad Hatter all over again as far as James Bulger is concerned. Hollywood greed is behind the rush to portray my client, and the movie missed the real scourge created in my client's case, the real menace to Boston during that time and in other mob cases around the country. The federal government's complicity in each and every one of those murders with the top echelon informant program. Directors Scott Cooper and Depp both tried to delve into Bulger's life to understand the mob boss who uses leverage as an FBI informant to brutally take out his rivals, as depicted in Black Mass. Both Johnny Depp and I reached out to Whitey, and he explicitly denied us. Cooper told Deadline.com he denied he was ever an FBI informant, and that's where the film got gray. See this? Right here.
Mhm.
Tenudu. He denied he was ever an FBI informant, and that's where the film got gray. He was certainly an informant, but the question was, how much really was he going to give them? Family members of Bulger's victims attended the Boston world premiere and told the director he had captured the complicated man. They thought it was an extremely accurate portrayal, as hard as it was to see the events take place and reopen wounds that would probably never heal, ever, Cooper said. Depp received critical plaudits for the role and was nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor, but missed out on an Oscar nomination. That's the real crime
Mhm.
winner of that performance, the best of that year. Wasn't even nominated for an Academy Award. It was nominated in other awards. Absolutely criminal.
Yeah. I want to know who actually won that year.
DiCaprio.
Oh God. Okay. No.
For the
No.
friggin' Revenant, where he mumbles and wears a fur coat. There's absolutely no emoting. It's even I think DiCaprio's massively overrated,
Mhm.
and that might be his most overrated before. He looks ridiculous when he tries to play a tough guy or in a Scorsese. Scorsese just casts him because his last name sounds really Italian,
Mhm.
and he just seems. I mean, he gets like the best scripts there is in Hollywood, and
Mhm.
they use him when they shouldn't use him. He's so miscast all the time. This is just my opinion. I think he's laughable when he tries to play a tough guy. It's ridiculous.
No, agreed. He's always got that,
He's man-child.
prepubescent body.
Yes, yes. He's constantly in growing pains mode. That's all I
Yeah.
say. Again, when he played Arnie Grape, and in his younger years when he played in his late teens, though that's easily his best streak of movies and his best genre. That sort of drama,
Mhm.
just like a This Boy's Life, and certainly What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Did you like Basketball Diaries?
No, he's hideous. Could you buy him as an all New York City at the height of its basketball I guess era, where the best basketball players were that New York thinks they're the best at everything, but at that time it might be valid. The Jim Carroll,
Mhm.
nobody's buying. I wouldn't buy him as a JV player in Suffolk County, Long Island, where I live. That's how unconvincing he looked. He would have gotten cut from my JV team. I'm just saying, I know basketball. I can look at someone in 20 seconds and tell you can't play. It's not that he can't play. He just wouldn't remotely be anything. He would have gotten cut, especially those city teams. Forget it.
Yeah, I know he made that era. He made me so sick of hearing about Jim Carroll. I didn't care anymore. I didn't want to hear the name anymore. I didn't care.
5'4" wigger Marky Mark talking about what a great rebounder he is made me even sicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jack. So then what I was telling you. So Jack Nicholson's crime boss, Frank Costello, was based in the movie Departed. Was based on Bulger in Martin Scorsese's 2006 drama The Departed, which won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture. And Depp destroys him because Nicholson's playing himself. So yeah, we got to read up on his murder in prison, which
it's pretty nasty. It was pretty
that's
detailed
pretty
too.
hated when you're brutally murdering someone in their late 80s.
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair, and if a normal human, you'd feel bad, but the amount of families he left without, beloved family members just for revenge, or he felt disrespected. Some would say
I want to know
karma.
more about that murder. It's very Epsteinian.
It is, yeah.
It kind of came and went. You're like, okay, he's dead. That's it. It's like, oh, really?
I think there's stuff, if I remember right, there's stuff about things being done to his eyes. It's just,
Yeah. Didn't they have pictures of it?
I'm sure they do. I don't think I've seen them.
Did anybody throw a hockey stick?
I haven't searched them out.
Did anybody throw a hockey stick into his Professor X wheelchair?
Oh God, you can't help yourself.
Did you ever see that movie in your neighborhood? Did you have kids who the worst bullies would throw like a hockey stick in someone's spokes, and then the wheel would hit the frame?
We weren't vicious, attempted murderers or manslaughterers.
We were very bored. I never did that.
Yeah, I didn't even want to waste like a basketball card in my spokes. I don't care if my bike sounds like a car. I don't care. I don't want. I'm not wrecking my Clyde Drexler basketball card for you. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
So you only had Trailblazer cards?
For a while, yeah. See, and when I was growing up, we had the greatest thing ever. It was an antique store that was like 4 blocks away. I'd walk to almost every day. Okay. And he carried all of those Skybox cards. Oh my God, the hoops, all of them.
Yeah.
It was so great. But he knew me. He knew I was coming, so I'm sure, marked up the price. All right, let's go.
So here I have, I wanted to follow up on, we were talking about Billy Bob Thornton and the succubus and the cheating and him denying it. And then, so I pulled up an article from that time. This is August 16th, 2016. This is like when it really hit the fan, like the TMZ thing came out, it was out, and people were like, what the hell is going on? His mom dies soon after this. So this is from the New York Daily News, and it's Billy Bob Thornton says he never cheated with Amber Heard, calls Johnny Depp's allegations completely false. Okay. Don't believe the writing on the wall. Very nice, Daily News. This is by Nicole Bittet.
I can barely read that writing on the wall on that mirror, so
I know.
Nobody would have known it was Billy Bob until Billy Bob opened his rotten teeth mouth.
He loves to be. He loves that he even. I think he secretly loves that he's even in the mix here.
Yeah, he hadn't been in the news since Laura Dern.
I know. He's no credibility. Don't believe the writing on the wall. Billy Bob Thornton said he never had a relationship with Amber Heard. Thornton, who starred alongside Heard in the film London Fields. I was corrected by that. Somebody, we'll get to those. I always confuse that movie. I hate that I know her IMDb on any level. So you're forced to know these stupid movies she's in.
Yeah.
Thornton, who starred alongside Heard in London Fields, claimed he was never involved with the actress, following a disturbing report that her estranged ex, Johnny Depp, wrote a cryptic message in blood and paint alluding to an affair between the two. TMZ initially reported. We scroll down. Come on. Where's the second? Oh, I hate the way these ads just dominate the page. I've been scrolling for 2 weeks, and I can't find the next paragraph. Okay, so I have to hit read more. Thank you, Daily News.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God damn,
it easy. They're so annoying.
I know.
Can I just read something without just getting inundated with... Okay, here we go. Thornton told the gossip site that the cheating allegation is completely false, even categorizing it as ridiculous. Heard and her legal team claimed Depp sliced off a piece of his finger during a heated argument in March of 2015, writing Easy Amber. We all know that. That was, and Billy Bob on a mirror in dark blue paint and blood, according to this report. The Danish girl actress. See, London Fields and Danish girl. It's like I'll get to that. I think I wrote it back in the thing, but I always confuse those two movies. I just could never get it straight. I don't want to get it straight. I think deep down, psychologically, I don't want to get it straight. I think I want to. I don't want to get her IMDb down too well. The Danish girl actress says Depp has accused her of cheating with Thornton at the time. He's 61. He's 66 now.
Gross.
And other men. And then they show this like weapons casing. What the hell this is?
I don't know.
Okay, Depp allegedly. No, that's Jesus Christ. That's his writing. I thought it was like medieval weapons. It's his writing, and it looks like it's a bunch of scythes and swords and nunchucks, and it says starring Easy Amber, starring Billy Bob in that paint. And what it looks like in this picture, I don't know if you can maybe put it in later. It looks like a weapons case. Like the writing looks like weapons.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Unless my vision's so bad. Thornton, though, is adamant he had no relationship on the set of this film with Heard. He said the pair did not even socialize except for one cast dinner. Does anybody buy that?
No. She sleeps with every co-star, male or female.
I'm not even saying that they officially cheated, but he's like saying, "Oh, I barely knew her." I'm sure you did. Small movie like that, you got to be kidding. Does anybody believe this guy on any
All
level?
you have to do, even if you want to acknowledge it, say, no, it didn't happen. Move on. You're over.
Yeah.
You're giving me too much detail.
He loves that he's even in the mix here. That someone in her age demographic would even be. He loved that it's even a rumor that anybody would even buy it.
Yeah.
The actor has assured his wife of 2 years, Connie Angland, that Depp's accusations are so he's trying to the wife. He's trying to convince the wife because it's out there. His life and all the wife sees is, oh, that's the guy who cheated with Angelina Jolie and dropped Laura Dern. So that's and
cheated
that's in
on
the back
mother
of
his children with Laura Dern.
Yes.
Cheated on Laura Dern with Angelina Jolie. Left Angelina Jolie when she wanted to adopt a child. He backed out after the adoption had started. Left her. Great guy.
Total piece of shit. Does anybody believe anything this guy says? So the actor has assured his wife of 2 years, Connie Angland, that Depp's accusations are a fantasy, TMZ reports. And then you got the two liars, like her and him. Like, you talk about credibility just smashed to the ground, devoid of any. Nobody believes anything these two twats say. The news of the bloody finger incident came just days after TMZ published a video showing Depp throwing a wine bottle and slamming a cabinet during an argument with Heard. The two have yet to reach a divorce settlement, as Depp and his legal team maintains that he never committed any of these acts of domestic violence. By the way, has anybody seen, I think maybe half or many people have, the famous video of Billy Bob Thornton being interviewed by a Canadian radio show where he gets offended by this very softball question. He's so uptight and he's so affected and he's so, with the hair plugs, and he's got, it's a time when Billy Bob Thornton's in a band, this Hollywood rocker thing is out of control. You got Russell Crowe and 50 odd foot of grunts and Keanu Reeves and Dogster, and of course Depp's iterations of all. P was right in the mix at the time. Yeah, but so he's trying it now, and he does this interview. You remember this, right? With this Canadian radio show, and he goes, all the guys said to him was something like, and let's play it at the end of this. Or maybe you could throw it in here through your master filmmaking skills.
I'll try.
Whatever. You can put it at the end. You can put whatever you want to do. But let's just get it somewhere. And the guy says something like, so, Billy, what's the impetus for your songwriting? Where are you getting your ideas from? He goes, oh, would you ask Tom Petty that question?
So
I don't think you'd ask Tom Petty that question, would you? I don't. He immediately starts to compare himself with Tom Petty, for Christ's sake. One of the top 1 percentile rock musicians in the history of rock and roll. Who doesn't love Tom Petty?
If you have ever watched, he made a music video around this time.
And Tom Petty makes the best videos too, right?
Oh yeah, but Billy Bob Thornton, he's just ripping off every kind of music video style that's been out there for 40
Yes.
years. But oh god, I implore any of you to look. I can't play it here, but look it up and just see what a master of music this guy was.
The pompous, delusional, arrogant hubris to compare yourself to anybody, but Tom Petty of all people.
Yep.
After nobody's taking you seriously anyway, and he just came across. I mean, I think the hatred for him, it really got around that interview. It really made the rounds in the media. It was like when, and people like, oh my God, what an absolute prick. I mean, he must have lost like, you know, if he ever had a massive fan base, he lost at least 80% of them in that moment. Did he come out and try to apologize after that and try to walk it back?
I don't think he did, but this was like I think toward the end of his marriage too.
He's like anorexic now too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gross.
He's disgusting. Imagine having Morlock climbing on top of you. 67.
I still feel bad for Halle Berry.
The white chest. Yeah, he's hideous.
Oh God, and that's a very graphic scene.
He's a decent actor when he plays a stupid Arkansas bumpkin, but that's
I didn't even bother to watch Sling Blade. I don't care. I don't need to hear him grunt. It just adds to the nightmare of picturing him doing that.
Do you know how it's funny? He was in that sitcom. It was a political sitcom called Hearts of Fire.
I know the show. I don't remember him in it.
And
wasn't he really fat?
Yeah, and that's how John Ritter got cast in Sling Blade. Because he was Marky Post and John Ritter.
Yeah.
Rip Marky Post too. Like that's a weird death.
She's very famous. I still remember that picture from the Inquirer at my grandma's house of her jumping on like the Lincoln bed at the White House.
Right.
Yeah.
She had a great TV career. She's on a lot of stuff. She's on a lot of stuff.
I can't forget that hair, that mullet.
I know. She's so attractive that she could pull that hair off. That's crazy.
No.
I mean, that was classic 80s mullet. The part in the middle and she had hockey hair. She literally had like Luke Robitaille, I
always wanted John Larroquette to like get with her on Night Court just to torment her.
Dan Fielding, I know. That was the ultimate sexual harassment. Was that the ultimate? Was he a Me Too, like just a walking Me Too on that show?
See, and that might be my problem now. I have an attitude where I like, to hang out with the men more than the women.
Oh, I hate men.
Because it's people like, John Larroquette exposing that character to me as a child. And
yes.
Bad. And but me, I'm going along. Everybody's thinking it's funny, it's hilarious, and I'm loving it. I'm cracking up along, watching it, and it just like scarred me. It's a whole new world today. All right, I'm done with my rant.
And then Harry Anderson's dead too.
I know, Mel Torme fan.
So is Charles Robinson, who played Mac.
Yeah, they're all. And what about Roz?
Well, no, Roz isn't dead, is she?
No, but her name was Marsha. I don't know.
Marsha Warfield.
I don't want to talk about Night Court.
I'll
go for an hour. We have 2 hours of audio we have to get through.
I always felt there could have been a crossover with Jump Street and Night Court.
Oh,
God. The trial goes to Night Court.
No. Mel Torme's picture, black and white picture, winking.
So you really know the show. Like, that Harry Anderson
Night
was
Court.
obsessed with.
It was on the same night as Cheers.
Sitcom.
Thursday nights were NBC.
Those days are long as far as funny sitcoms like that where everything is great.
I know.
It's such a different time.
Yeah.
It was such a great time for sitcoms. I'll never watch a sitcom again.
I would give up today's technology to go back to those days and, enjoy my naivete toward the world.
Even the bad shows were good. Even the bad sitcoms were good.
Yeah.
Had a charm to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last thing on that, just if anybody has tell us about who is this Ma Wen?
I don't know.
That's cast him somehow. She's the power to make huge French films with King Louis. I looked her up, and she has some bizarre. If you had a chance, look her up on IMDb. Just a bizarre resume of weird films, and some of them are just crap. And she directs stuff, and she acts. She's kind of like 48 or something. I just don't understand how anybody French. She just says yes automatically. Anything French. I don't know if she knows Vanessa or how that goes.
She's getting a lot of flack right now for being a woman, and how dare a woman have anything to do with a man, defending himself from domestic violence allegations. They're overwhelmingly going to be proved to be false if the jury has any brains about them. But you can't do anything. It's just it's a crazy culture right now. I don't know how men survive in this culture anymore.
One last thing. Tell us. So you found something just before we went on here about Minamata.
Oh yeah, it is after a very long delay. It is going to be in select theaters February 11th. So select theaters, that could be 2. I don't know. LA and New York, of course, because those are the only places that apparently watch movies in a theater, and that's been the case since the 80s.
No, they're not releasing it at the Salem AMC.
No, but why can't you?
I don't know. Maybe there's an audience there for it. It's a pretty artiste type of town. Well, certainly Portland is.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely.
But
hey,
does Minamata give you a headache with its staggered release? How long have we been releasing this film? Is this like
I don't know. I think they're just trying to do it quietly.
I cannot track this anymore. Did they not have an article on this? Like, didn't I read something on this show like 3 months ago? What is with this movie and this? Come the F out already.
Well, it is in February.
What is this?
February 11th.
He is his new cancel culture Me Too status is like he's the king of the staggered controversial release now, whether it's City of Lies or this or The Professor. It's constant like, oh no, it's out in this, South America, and then it comes out, oh no, it's out in this theater, and then 4 months later you read that it's not out and it's coming out again. This crazy, his movies, this is how you know he's fallen, that they do not fully release these movies at once anymore. It takes 3 years to roll his releases out. What is this with this movie? Come the F out already. Finalized. Let's see it fully realized and released. I'm tired of this. Aren't you getting a headache about Minamata and its release?
Blame the Twitter pussy hat movement. I don't know what to tell you.
I can't. I just read the article by the director. Right. Like, I don't know what it was. 5 episodes ago.
I think so.
And they acted like it was, and I was like, again, I'm like, okay, it's finally coming out. And I remember I had a rant just like this. And it's still not fully really good. God.
February 11th. Go see it. It's a good movie.
Definitely one of his better ones.
You're going to have a stroke over Minamata.
Sorry. That's what we do here. Okay, so let's get to the succubus. I don't want to be recalcitrant, but let's get to the succubus.
My warning on this: do the best you can with your volume. There's a lot of white noise in the background. She is so quiet, trying to appear to be meek and timid.
Fake demure, right? There's nothing.
Yeah, I have hiked his volume up at least 200%. So he seems to be fine. Again, just bear with us. This is
By the way,
one.
That's like symptom 1 of histrionic personality disorder.
Yeah, this is the same argument. Yeah, exactly. Same discussion from the last time that we had to pause due to technical issues. So cross your fingers. Okay, here we go.
I want to feel the trust, and I can with you. I know I can. I have felt it with you. But it's been destroyed by constantly being reminded that you take me for granted, or that you don't see this as a permanent thing, for better or for worse. I feel genuinely that you are here in this marriage and committed to this marriage for the better, and really not for the worse. You can't say the same about me. I fight even when I feel terrible. I show up. I pursue. I give you space. I've done everything to really show how committed I am. You know I am. I'm here for God's sake. No, not when it's tough. Not when it's hard. Not when it's worse. This is the grandest gesture you've shown me in a long time. Is by sitting in.
Her speech cadence is infuriating.
I know.
If female with natural female pipes, she's so primed for a good impression. a good female impersonator, just like someone like Melissa Villaseñor or something. She's so, I think I could do it if I really, but it's hard to get a male doing a female. It's kind of stupid.
You
But
don't.
it's that cadence is so infuriating, and so you could, and it's so predictable. You know, she could just, every word is just so precious. It's
I hate
so fake.
Yeah, I hate to even use this term because it's so overused. This entire audio is just gaslighting. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
she is
she's
telling
so
him,
patronizing,
yeah,
condescending.
she is telling him what it is. He is interjecting once in a while to say, "What? No, no, yes, yes." And by the way, because she's so friggin' quiet for now. If you want to pause, just say pause, and we'll talk.
Place an
Doing a
extra
tight
face
ship.
No, shush.
in some of the stuff we need to talk about. This is the biggest gesture you've given me in a very long time. It means a lot, of course, but it should be much more than that.
Well, that means a lot.
I know there's things that I need to be different. I want to make you happy as a man.
Ugh.
Is that sex? I want to make you happy as a man. Do you think she's
Yeah,
talking
it
about
sounded
sex?
like she was. It sounded like she was
'Cause he's
coming on
very
to him.
Yeah, I bet she is.
That's a good catch by you. I didn't really think that the first time, but now that you mention it,
'Cause didn't
she
she
was
just
trying to seduce him. Yeah, this is San Francisco we're still in, or
No, this is at his house
we're
in Beverly
we're
Hills.
at we're at Sweet Sir.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Okay.
after they had a fight the night before. This is just the continuation of the last audio.
I know I can change certain things that are hurting you.
Elaborate.
But I know I can't blame myself entirely for going straight to the fucking finish line, the first sign of stress yesterday.
So she hits him. That's her finish line? She just smacks the crap out of him?
Does anybody buy the fake crying that she's in
Oh,
that
she's not
kind of
crying.
bursting into she's always acting like she could be on the bursting into, she's just about to burst into tears.
Yeah, but not a tear
Just
falls.
walks up to the line. Right.
Exactly.
Because of how it's been lately. Like since Australia. And I've been on the road with you. I haven't been working. I don't know what else I could fucking do.
Since Australia, we've been on our honeymoon and we had a great time, other than the fact that we had a fight in the train, which was physical.
Yeah.
But then we had a fight in San Francisco. But I thought everything else was great. You're saying you've been pondering this since Australia.
No, the splitting.
Me splitting.
Like the lack of, I even said this in Australia. I said I feel like it was so good for so long. We'd talk about things. Remember we were allowed to have fights then. Remember we allowed ourselves to say, hey, you did this or you took. Remember we would even have a little argument. And it was okay. It was an argument. I don't know what the fuck has changed.
Oh.
You
I can't figure it out.
You stop
Yeah.
for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
When, and this goes for anybody, but I'm certainly asking you first. When do you think she turned into a harpy with him?
As soon as the ring's
And
lit on.
Yeah, you don't think it was before that?
No, well, she was abusing him before. And he says at some point that he married her, and that's coming up, because he thought the fights would stop.
This is
That magic
definition
never
of
happens. That does
listen to
never.
this. No, go. Yeah, I know. This is what I'm getting. That's why I use the word. I use the word harpy. Does anybody? Harpy's not often used. It's a weird word that's kind of an old school. You don't hear it a lot anymore, but I don't know why it just hit me. It's like a woman who's like nagging, criticizing.
How dare you be gender specific?
Well, I mean, okay. Here's I just looked up the actual definition here. Traditionally, it says a person, but traditionally a woman. This is how it's written. Who persistently nags or criticizes fishwife, fury, scold, shrew, virago. Never heard of that. Vixen, informal, battle axe. Remember they used to say old battle axe?
Yeah.
Does she not personify that?
Yeah, she's literally a battle axe.
Yeah. They should give Mira a battle axe and Aquaman.
No, she doesn't need one. I think this broad has like a Wolverine battle axe that pops out of her hand bones, and she just swings at him constantly.
To clash with the trident in Momoa's pants.
Oh God. Do the haka on horizontal haka.
And I don't mean to criticize anything that you do, but it's so chronic with you, the changes and the personality. It's like sometimes you get these clear months and you're this different person, and it's
Okay.
what you're...
What?
Hear the therapy speak?
Yeah,
Chronic
of course.
and clarity, and she's just like right out of she took whatever their therapist did and is taking all the lingo and nomenclature, vernacular from their therapy sessions, and she's spritzing it into these conversations to charm the therapist into thinking she's on the right side of stuff.
Well, too, remember, the con has already begun. She's already taken photos. Has photos of him, with spilled ice cream. She's got photos of him laying on the ground and a staged
What is
photo.
that ice cream? It's yellow. What is
I don't
that?
know. Looks
Is it
gross.
custard? What the hell
Looks
is
gross.
that? Is it just like French vanilla, or what is it, yellow
probably
ice cream?
some rich person's butter pecan.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yes.
this,
Gelato.
And then sometimes I'm like struggling to stay connected with you, struggling to have 5 minutes with you, struggling to connect with you, struggling to have my friendship with you, and I can't fight with you. It's like, but they're so chronic that I have to go, what the fuck has changed? What thing has changed? Do you not remember how different? You were so different. You allowed me to...
It's like a Danish girl audition.
Let's put it in context here. She's cheating on him left and right.
Yeah.
You've changed.
I don't see Depp as... I never considered him the jealous, but I think he is actually. I think he does have a jealous side, especially when you're 25 years older than her and you know her ways. But
she can swing either way. She meets a woman she likes.
Yes. Yep.
She's going there. She's hanging her ex-wife's painting above your bed. To play mind games. You got to remember too.
Don't ever discount this about him. Okay, anybody listening here, he's so beloved. And he's been around for a long time. You know how many friends he has on sets that have sprinkled around and have kind of fanned out to different films, and he has whatever part, and he's so beloved on productions as an A-list actor who has to set the tone. He has assistants and producers and all these technical people on all these different films. You know how many spies and snitches he must have telling him this stuff? Yeah. I really think he has actual intel about her cheating. Like, he knows, he's been told by confidants of his on all these different, he's been around for a long time, and he's always so beloved by his cast and crew and the little people. We've heard a million stories of treating the key grip as well as he treats a director. And I really believe they're coming back to him with pure intel about who she's cheating on. Like Johnny, I love you. Look, she's way too chummy with Channing Tatum on Magic Mike 2. Just just watch her back. Watch your back. Watch her. I don't trust her. That kind of crap. I mean, Stanhope's letter we read says it all. They're people onto her before he was.
Yeah. And by the way, I want to say, I noticed this. I don't know if anybody cares. The rain I have falling in the background of their picture, that's not the noise you hear. That's the white noise in their recording. So I know it's kind of matching up, which is weird. Okay, let's continue.
I allowed you to what?
And you were so present, and we were allowed to fight. Not even so fight, present. We had arguments. You weren't like this, mood swings, up, down, like really aggressive and really cool and calm. I mean, you've given me this time here on the couch, and it's amazing that we can actually talk. But I never feel that safe. I constantly feel like you're about to fucking split, and I don't want to feel like that.
Splitting it.
Meaning, aren't they both? They're both diagnosed bipolar, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have moods. You're gonna have up and downs. She doesn't know
Everybody does. But bipolar is typically when they're so extreme. One day you
Yeah.
want to kill yourself, and the next day you're the life of the party.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a cop-out diagnosis from many psychiatrists who
It's an easy diagnosis.
it's an easy diagnosis. You walk in there in 5 minutes, you go, oh, you're bipolar. Like, well, how do you know? It's
Yeah.
well, everybody's up and down. You could say that about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't disprove that. Everybody's up and down.
Yeah.
You threw me out of the bedroom.
Yeah, why wouldn't I if I know that you're about to split? I mean, that's what I'm saying. You
I wasn't
always
about to
split.
split.
You always split, so that's why
Oh,
wouldn't I
thanks.
mean, I do blame myself for my actions
I was
yesterday,
laying in
but I
bed
also
watching
don't
television, man.
Man, see the man?
Mm-hmm.
I-
I
Bro,
was laying in bed
dude.
watching television.
Guy,
I fucked up last night. I'm not going to defend myself.
Hunter says
But
man
I
after
also
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was over in Aspen on Woody Creek and watching the Redskins and the Cowboys, man.
So he's laying in bed watching television, and she just kicks him out of the room because she thinks eventually he's going to want to leave.
Split. No,
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Split.
the word is right.
We need Austin
More
dogfighting talk. You're going to split.
more splits
Mhm.
than Mary Lou Retton on a Wheaties box.
Oh, oh God.
Can't blame like me going to the finish line when that's always where you drive it. You know?
But you're saying you thought you were sure I was going to split. But
Always. I mean, that's
Oh,
just
God.
that's
why would I split?
Get used to it. You need your drinking coach. You need to create some type of drinking game over the word
Can we do a
split.
split? Can we do a splittervention where we stop them being split? We just eradicate it from the vocabulary.
Well, these two are, that's how they talk. That tough type talk. And
If I'm laying in the bed with you watching television.
Anytime I tell you that I'm unhappy with anything, and it's typically the same thing. Anytime my voice is complaint, I'm not allowed to have a complaint. I'm not allowed to think anything wrong. I've told you this 1,000 times. 1,000 times I've said this to you in calm and in fights. Baby, I don't feel like I'm allowed to just have a complaint, and you aren't allowing me the luxury of us just being normal human couples. Like, as soon as you get mad, you take off on a train. Remember, I even asked you, is it about Adderall? Are you doing too much? I know it makes
Adderall.
one edgy. It makes one, like, temperamental. Could it be too much? Like, what is it? The alcohol doesn't seem like it unless it's like in Toronto where it just became that. But in general, it hasn't been a problem so much. So I don't know what changed. I mean, I'm sure
It's
it's something.
Sarah,
because
pause
it's
a
not.
Mhm.
How weird is it now? You know that Hollywood, the Adderall now is the big thing here.
Insane.
It's really run so much so that I wanted to go on it.
Mm-hmm.
In some very rationed out, professionally psychiatric.
I
version.
think with bipolar, you have to be extremely careful with that. I would imagine Adderall, I know nothing, but when you're having a high, it's going to send you through the roof. I don't know.
But it's such a big thing in Hollywood now. And how bizarre is it that
It's
she
illegal
happens to do a
cocaine.
movie? Yeah, it is. It's like a cocaine light.
Mhm.
And she's doing the Adderall Diaries
Yeah, exactly.
at the same time with Franco. I mean, it's just bizarre coincidence that's
Mhm.
kind of she's oh my god, Adderall. I gotta do, I don't care what it is, I have to take, and she gets Tracy Jacobs to how much you think Tracy Jacobs is responsible for the movie she got during this time?
Oh God, yeah, I'm sure.
I guarantee she's responsible for all of it.
Mhm. Well, she's not going to talk on a recording about her cocaine use and her Adderall use and her mushrooms and her acid.
Yep.
She's not going to
Yep.
talk about any of that.
It's
same-
chemical.
it's
It's,
the same-
strong.
no.
It's one day you were different,
It's the same.
and it hasn't been back.
It's the same changes that are happening in you. It's exactly the same. Huh?
Everything wish that was the case.
That is the case.
I have always allowed you to fuck up and be a human. I've always been able to have a communication with you. The difference is you make it so we cannot even communicate at all if it's anything negative. You take off on a train, you don't get off. You don't calm down. You don't come back around. You don't honor when you say, I just want a few minutes or I want a little time, but I'll be back. You don't assuage the the anxiety
age.
and the stress that gives me and makes things worse with me by saying, hey, remember Keeper was like, you have to say, I will be back in this amount of time, more or less, and then actually honor it. You have to come back. So I said, oh my God, if he could do that, that would be great. And you never do it. You know, you don't.
Why do we have to pat your hand? Have you ever gotten over, if you've been so mad to leave the room, have you ever gotten over it in a few minutes?
Because she's entitled now.
Well, she's
past
so
the point
afraid
of,
to be abandoned that, well, if you could
you
just tell
buy that?
me, no, you could just
I
tell
think
me when you're going to be back. You said a few minutes. It's like, oh my God, woman.
why? Because what do you think because this is part of the con. This is how she cheats on him, right? How long are you going to be in Australia for? How long are you going to be in London for? Oh, 3.5 months? Okay, Elon, come on over. James Franco,
Yeah.
come on over.
Okay, you're right.
I mean, everything out of her mouth is lie, pretty much. You can't. I mean, you have to take the tact we do with Howard on Radio Gunk. 80% of what he's saying is probably a lie.
Honor that. You leave me with way more anxiety, stress, anger, and resentment. But in Australia, for a few months, you were so.
So were you. It makes a difference. I wasn't being attacked.
I'm not. I'm not. I have not attacked you any different. I haven't changed. I have not attacked you any different. I never attacked you. I never attack you. Just because I have a complaint with something you did is not an attack.
It becomes verbally insulting. It becomes all kinds of shit. It becomes like right at the get-go. Yeah.
See, that's the problem. If you see any
criticism
as a verbal assault, of course we have this problem. We're gonna have it next time you do. God forbid I have a problem with something you do. We're gonna be in this situation. Are you ready for it?
Say it nice, man.
What if I'm hurt? Am I not allowed to be hurt and be human? That's the thing. You're not allowing me to be human then. You take my humanity from me. You're telling me I'm not allowed to feel things and I'm not allowed to react because to protect you.
Last night happened because I was at Isaac's for too long. Next door.
It happened because we could not.
And for
the Kato Kalin of.
For what? What did we gain from this fight? From me just. You know, the horrible fucking act of me being over at Isaac's for just too long for you.
I did not cause this because you were at Isaac's. You lie to yourself. Go ahead. You're just lying to yourself.
Then why were you upset last night?
This did not happen because of Isaac's. This happened because we're fighting.
Sarah.
What?
By the way, what I love about you on this show, you're very present.
Okay. You're very...
No, that's not what I wanted to... It's not, what would
you're very shiny. So what's your point?
She bursts into the thing about Isaac. She goes, Isaac? Isaac? You mean the Kato Kalin with an easel? Isaac?
Well, you know, she doesn't like it. He's in one of the penthouses. The other penthouses are full of her friends. Isaac's the lone.
He's in penthouse 4? Is it?
I think so.
I'm trying to remember the sequence. Come on, knock on
this
my
is
door.
not about Isaac's. We actually haven't really even talked about that. We spent 2 seconds on it because it's not about that. It's bigger than that. The point is, I voiced a complaint. It could be anything. You could say, baby, you did something to hurt me. Which you did, and you admitted.
Why didn't you say that?
You
can you see her jutting her chin out?
Admitted that you would feel that
that's
way.
That's where you want to punch her.
And you said sorry for it. That would have been great, but I could not feel safe saying that to you because I knew that your reaction would very likely be a defensive explosion and an attack and freak out and get up and walk away and all this stuff. So I wanted to avoid it. So I took an Ambien to try and go to sleep without even having to speak to you about it because I was really hurt that you fucking left me stranded. You didn't think about me. You didn't text me. All the things that you apologized for. You already apologized for it. Can you do me one small favor and not take it back?
One question.
What?
She's talking about him exploding.
But then
over and over again.
Yeah, but the exploding to her is him leaving.
Well, you think there's audio we haven't heard and seen yet that she has?
There's a trial coming up. Yeah.
Well, of him exploding.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because we're not taking that angle. We're not thinking about
We'll
that
find
she
out.
might actually have something else that
But
she's
she's
holding
saying
on to.
you explode by getting up and leaving. That's her opportunity to say you explode by hitting me.
She's implying
By
there's something
dragging me
else
around
going
by the
on
hair,
besides him
dragging me
leaving.
through glass, all of that. She's
Yeah,
got every
I know.
opportunity to say it. She never does.
I'm taking it back.
Stop defending it, please. You already apologized for it. It meant a lot to me. Do me one favor today. Don't take that back.
And what did I just say?
Speak up.
This isn't about Isaac, you know.
Enunciate.
It is about us.
You're
No,
not getting Danish girl doing
She
that.
has a problem with like
Because
M's and N's. She doesn't
Yeah.
pronounce them.
she's trying to be cute.
Yeah.
She's trying to serve part of her Austin Kahn.
Yeah. Like her tongue rolls up in her mouth when she's trying to talk. I'm one to talk.
Is it about me showering?
No, it's about you not allowing
So you see everybody? Stop right there, Sarah.
to have any problems with you.
He does
be
shower.
Upset at you or mad
He
at you.
does shower.
At all.
All these people who say he stinks, he doesn't. There you go. There's your evidence. Him, Paul
He's
Bettany
showering in the
confirmed it,
video
too.
I'm showing. Yeah.
And he does shower. Paul Bettany
You're
claims
not
he
allowed.
showers twice a day.
If you could have just said in a kinder way, a nicer way, like, listen, I feel fucked over by what you fucking just did.
You wouldn't freak out.
No, I would say fucking, what is it? Like what? And fucking too long at Isaac's. You said you wouldn't be that long or whatever. You shouldn't. I feel stranded. I felt fucking left. Whatever. What am I gonna fight with that? Why would I get mad at that?
Oh my God, the first thing you do is I don't have to text you and all. I mean, it would be shitty. It would be a fight. It would be terrible. It would not be.
It was a fight.
Yeah, it was.
It was a fight.
What?
And
Then
it shouldn't have been. And so then the Isaac thing was the impetus because you were that was a lot of what you said today. Was it?
it was the impetus, but it's just a small example and a bigger thing. You know, it's a big thing.
Okay, so it's a bigger thing that's coming from back in Australia.
No, it's like Australia. We're allowed to have fights. You can't sit here and tell me I can't feel things and I can't voice them to you. If we say to each other, you can't get mad and you can't be hurt by the other, then we're living in fucking motherfucking fairy tale.
Look, then of course, nobody is able to and shouldn't hold shit in. But we can go to the other person and say, look, man, I feel fucked. I feel shit. I feel this. I feel that. And then we can assess how you feel. Well, fuck, I guess, oh shit, I see what you mean. You know, I see what you mean, I get it.
Sarah, stop.
Fuck.
Pause it, sorry. It seems like they're both playing up to the therapist now.
Of course.
In this round, it's very, very therapeutic, very cookie cutter how it would sound in a group therapy session or a family therapy session. Almost boringly so, predictably so. By the way, what do you think happens in this whole brouhaha if technology isn't where it is in terms of texting and emails and all that stuff that we all save and use against each other?
He would be in
What do you
jail.
think happens? Think he goes to jail?
Yeah, because
Just
she
believe the
probably
woman
would have.
and you're in jail and
Yeah, if she could have just called the police and had him arrested after one of these staged incidences, yeah, he'd be in jail. He'd be out by now, but
let's harken back to he and Kate Moss before texting was mainstream.
We don't know anything about that
We don't
other
know
than the
anything.
hotel incident.
Right. It could have been just as explosive as this.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's a better broad. I'm not going to say she's not probably better than the succubus, but
love the cocaine, apparently.
Well, could you imagine the exchanges with Oasis in the mix and the whole thing? Some crazy stuff.
Yep.
This is where technology goes right.
And I don't understand what you're saying, and you're wrong, and you're whatever.
but it's going to be the latter, and it's been the latter for months now, where that's your reaction, is not
There we
ever,
go. More ladders than
ever
backdraft.
admitting wrong, ever doing anything wrong,
That's-
ever
that's not
admitting
true.
it. You always go straight to you're wrong, fuck you kind of thing. You don't say fuck you all the time right away, but I'm
You're saying
saying
always. Huh?
Oh, I would say
like for months now, it's been, I can't voice any complaint. I can't say I feel fucked over. I can't say I'm hurt. I can't say you fucked up. I can't be mad at you. I can't be hurt. Nothing. Because I'm the bad guy. Oh, well, I'm always fucking up, and, you know, like, you're always on me, and I'm always fucking up, and, you know, like, getting mad at me for having, for being honest
Finish it.
with you. We've had a million fights where I'm like, I was honest with you. I told you how I felt. Maybe if you were me, wouldn't you feel bad? Yeah. Okay, well, then, the fuck? We had these few months where we actually could even feel things and fight, and it was an argument. But you don't ever like, it's like you, I don't know what's changed, but it's like you can't ever just make it short and get over it. You can't. It's like you get on something and you will not get off of it. Hence why I'm always going to you in fights for hours, trying to get you to calm down. Please, can we talk? Please, because I don't want to go to bed that way. And you told me you didn't want to go to bed that way either. Yet you want to fucking do this all night long and make it an all-night thing by disappearing for hours at a time. And then when I come to you, I'm the bad guy. I feel fucking alone. I feel like you're not fucking helping. You're not fucking doing anything in fights. You're not overcoming yourself. You're not overcoming yourself. It's every one of these fights could have been so short. Why aren't you doing some of the work? Why aren't you coming to me and saying, look, olive branch? Why aren't you saying, I'm sorry, bigger
Get
picture,
your
let's
olive
look at the
branch
bigger
on it.
picture? Why aren't you doing any of this stuff? Have you noticed that you're not?
Do you remember thanking me for doing that, actually, recently? Thank you for being the bigger person. Thank you for coming and apologizing to me.
When?
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, when?
All right, pause it.
Yep.
You remember what Depp says about her obsession with how often she did you read his full transcript in the
Mm-hmm. I read it.
trial, in the UK trial? It
Not
comes
to read
out
it
pretty
again.
quickly. I can't wait. I can't wait to read it again. It comes out pretty quickly how attention starved she is, and he goes into one of the most fascinating things about him revealing what she does, and I think we all theorize this is probably what she does, much like what we say about Beth and Howard. She pretty much Googles herself all day long, just constantly looking at attention, and she's got to do this, and she's got to do this. Just constantly buying magazines with herself in it, just obsessing over every article on her, and in a constant state of attention starvation and Googling yourself and fame whore. Just the classic dime a dozen fame whore. As you think anybody who moves to Hollywood, and I probably said it on here, you got to remember, like, this is a city, LA, Hollywood, or the idea, the industry version of it. This is an industry, and there's some exceptions. This is a full city of everybody in your town that looked at their town and looked at themselves and said, I'm too hot and good for this town. I'm going here. So now it's a whole city of that person all at once. And she's the very personification of that. That chick in your town that thought she was too hot for her town, too good for your town. Oh, you're too slow for me. You're too beneath me. There's nothing going on here. I'm going here. I'm too happening. I'm too hot for this town. Austin, for Christ's sake, which is a pretty hip, happening town. And she goes, so this is a whole city of her, and no attention is enough for her. And you see it here, like even when he's giving her attention, and then he goes and does, she needs more so that she's inviting other people. Here's Franco, here's Musk. He's in London, and there's no amount of attention he can give her that would satiate her. And this is really the key word to all this. And then her histrionic and lying and stuff. And I'm not even sure she craves his attention half as much as she claims to in these
She doesn't like him.
Well, he says this. He confirms that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, initially she tried to charm me and say she loved my work and blah, blah. I came to find out not too soon after that she hasn't seen any of my films,
Exactly.
and neither has he.
It's the con.
As well, now we're even, because I
Mm-hmm.
certainly haven't seen your films.
Yeah. I really want to see
It's
Drive
Magic
Angry.
Mike
Who
too.
gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's a good one. By the way, is Kevin Costner lumped in with the cheating stuff?
I don't think so.
I swear I saw something recently where they threw his name into the mix.
Not with her. He's in with some other cheating scandal. I forget who, though.
I'm telling you, I recently saw his name get implemented into the cheating roster.
Maybe I don't know.
Right.
Let's see. I don't know, honeymoon or Venice.
There's an example. I don't
sorry.
remember which one it is, but
I'm really sorry, I don't remember exactly.
no.
what
I wasn't questioning you. I'm sure
I'm
it
just
happened.
saying
I just don't remember that one time. But I'm
Yeah.
saying the majority of the time. And if you want to argue with that, then we'll never see eye to eye. I think you and I both know the truth. The majority of times, you cannot calm yourself, and it's me trying. Whether I'm hurt, whether I'm mad, whether you just told me you hate me in my eyes, I'm the one trying to get you to calm down, trying to get an olive branch, trying to not make it an all-night thing, trying to get over it, trying to see the bigger picture. Even if I'm hurt, I'm still trying to do that because I see the bigger picture. You lose the bigger picture every time. And if you want to stay married to me, you need to figure out if you think you can.
Sarah?
If you're going to lose sight.
Yep.
What's the big picture? She gets her way in every situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember
what's
why
the big picture?
Well, you know what the big picture is. You
The
know
big
why
picture is she gets roles from his fame,
Mm-hmm.
off his fame. That's the big picture. That's
Well, you know
the
why
real.
why she
score.
cut off his finger? Because she wanted to be in the will, and he said no.
Yeah.
He also wanted a post-nup.
That's a great callback. That's exactly right. By the way, Sarah, if you don't feel like you have to be polite with this audio, you stop it whenever you feel like it. You're not going to be disturbing me, or I'm not going to push back. Oh, please let it play. You could do whatever you want. I mean,
Mm-hmm. No, it's fine.
We've both heard it. We've all heard it a million times.
Yeah, I'll stop it when I need to. I just want to get through a chunk of it at least. There's so much left.
The bigger picture and only be my husband when it's easy. You're only going to be there for the ups, never the downs. You're only going to be there for health, not sickness. Every time it gets hard, you lose the big picture and you can't think about anything else but breaking up, divorce, fighting, splitting, running away.
Sickness.
If you can't be the one to come around sometimes and see the bigger picture and know that it's not worth fighting for days. If you can't do that too, we need to walk away. I don't want to walk away. I don't want to end this.
But do you not think you'd instigate the same thing?
I'm not talking about instigating, I'm talking about ending.
But ending, you don't...
Let's not talk about instigating.
No, that's... what was it every time I bring up a point, you gloss over it, huh?
Yeah. That's
every
enough.
Time I make a point.
That's enough, man. With the disrespect. I don't remember if we've even heard that part yet.
I forget the sequence of stuff.
I know. It all jumbles together for me.
You know why? Because I listened to it in released chapters initially, and then all at once it's different. I remember I listened to it like 3 times in different chapters that were released.
Now, this is the only the first audio release.
It was Adam Waldman that released this initially, right?
I don't know.
His lawyer.
Somehow, incredibly average, the YouTuber got an insane amount of views on this.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he does a really thorough,
it seemed to appear on his channel, first.
Right.
He has everything transcribed. Excellent job. I wish he'd post more.
Ending.
Yeah, but you don't always do that. You don't always end up to be the one to say.
What
you do is in the morning you say, I'm sorry.
On the fullest. No, I do it at night. I come, whether it's night or day, I've done both. I've come to you every single time. On the plane I came to you, on the Venice.
If you hit him, you should be the one going to him.
It doesn't matter if she hits him.
I know.
He's Teflon.
Why aren't you apologizing for leaving? when I wanted to hit you once more.
He's Jack Sparrow. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if she hits him.
Came to you in Toronto. I came to you in what do you call it? San Francisco. I came to you.
Toronto, San Francisco.
What do you call it? San Francisco, Toronto, San Francisco.
She said something else too that bothered me.
Medical.
Yeah.
pull you into
Okay.
the
Do we
bed,
need
or
to
I
say
hug
that?
you, and I get us to calm down. And I'm glad I do, because that's what makes it not be an all-night thing. And nothing harms our marriage more than sleeping in different beds because we're mad at each other or going to bed
With
mad
other
at each
people.
other. We made a promise. You didn't keep that promise, but we did make a promise to not do that. It was your choice not to live up to that promise, not mine. I tried to get you to come to bed when you were mad. I tried to get you to calm down so many times in Toronto.
Oh, sure.
In Toronto, in Venice, in San Francisco. I would come to the 7 different bathrooms if you were, and try throughout.
Just
Whether
so-
I was mad or hurt.
When you said it, I think you said it the last bout we did with this. What a rough life. You get to go to Van, you get to go on his dime, on the company's dime, and his per diem. You get to
Yeah.
fly to all these places and not spend a dime, and use his black card. Oh, what a rough life. You got to come
Yeah.
and
Well, she's
be a
like,
wife
and the last one, she's also complaining. Well, I traveled the world with you. He's like, we were on our honeymoon. I would
on a
hope you're by
private
my
jet
side.
with
Yeah.
absolutely no inconveniences whatsoever. You don't have to drive. You don't have to fly. You don't have to go to a commercial airport and go through all the tedium people do when they waste 3 hours doing that. You have absolutely no problems. There's no downside to anything you do. You're not
Yeah.
missing any.
You don't even have to
Any
work.
films you miss, you're doing us a favor. I know. You just absolutely do not need to work on any, and nobody wants you to, Toots.
Yeah,
That's
nobody
the
cares.
thing.
Your D-list
Nobody
movies.
cares.
Nobody's going to Blockbuster to look for, Drive Angry. I can't think of the other one.
Imagine there's an Amber Heard section in the
I
old
know.
Blockbuster.
There's
Remember they used to have the actors like in the give them like a shelf.
Yeah. There is an X video section for Amber Heard. Check that out. That's all you need to know about her movies.
Or not, because I saw the bigger picture. I didn't think it was worth this. I'm
She sees the
always
bigger
the one
picture.
trying to end it. You never let go of things. You constantly do this.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You're never the one coming to me and saying, let's stop fighting.
hope that was
You're never the
sarcasm.
one saying, come, just get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That might be my favorite part.
He
Sorry you
is
feel that way.
phenomenal passive aggressive sarcasm.
Good. So is she.
No, I'm saying he delivers
I know.
phenomenal pass from 21 Jump Street to today. The Hanson character on Jump Street is phenomenal at passive aggressive sarcasm,
Yeah.
especially when dealing with Penhall.
He's got a side to him that's very likable in times like
Oh, yeah.
those. But
He has
then,
charisma that you cannot create in any
Yeah.
acting class.
But in the-
Juilliard, whatever. You can't.
yeah,
clone
but in the
this.
next breath, he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll take this mystery pill you're giving me." Yeah, all right. Is it Xanax, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, I must need one. Oh,
Well, Dr. Kipper will clean that up.
yeah, I mean, that's true. Vacuum those lungs out too.
But let's not go to bed mad like that. On the plane, it was me. In Toronto, it was me. It's always me.
On the plane
me,
Here,
me.
Yeah,
from Rio,
You don't want to admit it.
you were
Think about
losing your marbles.
Think about it.
I'm the one who came to you and said, "Let's calm down, please calm down," and you were blaming me
Think about it.
because your flight was going to get in late and you wouldn't be able to.
Think
Not
about
true,
it.
Johnny. You're the only one losing the marbles to the tune of $600 million.
yeah.
And
She's got a
wasting it on this
billionaire.
idiot.
She's got a billionaire in her pocket, probably with blackmail. So she's okay. But good for him getting this on tape, though. You were the
What
one.
does Lex Luthor have up his sleeve
Oh,
in this trial?
I hope he's got the Toronto tapes.
Toronto, San Francisco,
Toronto. Come lay in the bed with me.
Monaco.
Don't you want to hug me? Let's make love one last time so I can get your DNA and then I can say you raped me. That's in future audio.
That's a really
Oh, it's obvious. Her mind. We know how her
dastardly
mind.
Oh, it's a sinister mind you have to think. I think you're spot on. That is a crazy. That is lawyer-esque, that is legally of you to attach that to her motives.
And
I've never heard anybody, in all the stuff I've watched and read about this, I have never heard anybody pose that theory.
Yeah, I've recently seen people discussing it on other channels, but
Okay.
I don't want to say I was the original, but we know how our mind works just by this audio. And it's the same thing with the cutting audio that we'll get to someday. If he would have cut her like she asked him to, that audio would have disappeared, and she would have said he attacked her with a knife or he tried to murder her.
You know how much she gets off on that cutting thing? That he's
I know.
She's got
cutting scars on her arms.
You know what? She loves that he could even go to that place over her. And
Exactly.
and I think she loves the NFT thing. That she thinks she caused all this. She gets off on this. You see, he's doing this over me.
Yeah.
He created this stupid art selling website over me.
Got to pay the bills, Johnny.
Time before your thing.
Just think about it.
Oh, no.
The majority of our fights.
No, absolutely. Okay, I'll admit that. Yeah, the majority of our fights, I hang on to it because it's fucking hard to let go of. Some of the shit that you go through in a fight can be...
What?
He has a cigarette in his
closed
mouth.
captions
Painful
for that.
and
Yeah,
it's hard to
give me
forget
cigarette
shit.
closed captions. His personality, I'm fascinated by. His lack of lucidity to he wakes up, he falls asleep, you know what I mean? He's just, the articulation is just all over the place with him.
He's got a cigarette. He's got a dark brown stick in his mouth that he's trying to light with that 20-pound lighter that has a skull on it.
If any Johnny Depp fans get a chance, go, I know years have gone by, watch an interview with him around the time of 21 Jump Street, and watch an interview with him in the last couple of years, and look at the difference in speech cadence, and I'm not just talking about the Euro lilt he has. It's just the lucidity and the speed of his speech. It's eerie that's even the same person.
Yeah.
You constantly are using that as ammunition, which you could shoot yourself in the fucking head. That's fine, okay, but at least admit you're doing that. If you want to hold on to everything and never get over it and never let go, then don't scratch your head and go, I wonder why I'm so aggressive when you point out anything I did wrong. I wonder why I have so much resentment for you. I wonder why we fight so much. Stop scratching your head.
I'm a resentment San Francisco. I'm a resentment.
You guys are resentment? You guys
resentment?
Where you resent is a split when you resentment in Toronto. Okay.
Wonder and just admit that's because you never let a fucking thing go. You can't get over anything, and that you won't and cannot calm yourself down when you're mad.
So it's all my fault.
No. It's not.
Ugh. It's not. Imagine her face.
Yet you can sit here and find blame in everything that I do. But you never say a thing about yourself.
I think I've included myself.
You copped her last night.
I have included myself.
Has she? And by the way, he's right. Has she admitted to one flaw in this whole scenario?
No.
Has she even subtle?
She gets upset because he splits, and he doesn't stick around to fight.
Humble brag. Yeah. She backwardly compliments herself and humble brag. That's the closest she gets to admitting to any remote flaws at all.
Well, even like the worst of it, I wasn't hitting you. I was slapping. No, I was hitting you. I wasn't punching you. And then his classic line.
You can't dick me.
I wasn't hurting you.
Oh, you talk about
yeah.
Don't tell me what it's like to be punched.
Speak up.
I'm smiling next to you.
Speak up, we're listening.
What I'm talking
in silent lucidity.
I do let things go. I move this relationship forward. I fight for us when it's on my mind. I do let things go. I see the bigger picture.
You said you said I'm tired too, man.
It really does sound like a bad audition.
And you do let things go. Yet after Toronto, you're looking for apartments.
That was a hard one. And I did not say it 100% of the time. And
And the
part
plane
of
was
this
a
conversation
fucking hard
did I
one,
say,
too.
no part of this conversation did I say, I am perfect. I did not claim that.
I know you didn't.
I'm claiming the vast majority of time these patterns. And I own them. I'm right. You know it. You don't have to admit it. But you know what
Oh.
I'm saying is true.
Gaslight.
I'm able to sleep with the pictures, but whether I'm mad or hurt, I do leave for better or for worse. I have honored my word to not leave. You ditched me last night, and I understand.
No, you
I
don't.
understand.
I'm gonna drop
Oh,
that
shitty.
before the true definition of gaslight.
That girl.
Before I've
Yeah.
grasped that fully, what that means.
I think I
hear it
have it
every other
right.
word. I
I
don't
think I
even
have
know
it
if I
right.
do.
When
I'll
you're
never
telling
get it.
somebody, they know you're not telling the truth, but you're telling them, you know this is the truth. You know this is how it is. You do this, and you know you do. And when they're thinking, no,
So
this,
it's like patronizing? Is it like?
yeah, of course.
So why not just say patronizing? Well, what is gaslight?
It's a buzzword.
I know. The internet has these buzzwords. We all use them over and over again, and some people don't know what it's just like. Remember doxing? Now everybody
Yeah.
says it every 5 seconds.
And I'll ban anybody in the comments who says I'm wrong about anything. I'm just kidding. I'm probably wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody truly can define.
We'll go along with me being right and being the expert on the gaslight.
It's used all the time.
I know.
But it is a reaction to this fucking situation we've created. It's about to crack, and I'm trying. I can't be the. Oh God. I can't be the one. And this whole time, I also don't want to make me unhappy. It makes me listen to it. And then that's the trust I'm talking about.
Should I
Like
skip
said,
forward a bit?
The last thing in the world I want is for you to be unhappy.
I can't remember what comes. I'm afraid to miss something.
Okay.
Nugget.
Or for
I
me
don't
to
know.
let you down.
If she keeps mumbling, though, we'll
Well, the worst part
reassess.
is it's deliberate. It's how
Yeah, she's
affected
calm.
and deliberate it is. It's right. It's like the Adderall. It's like her audition for the Adderall Diaries.
I do.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
And
yeah. Uh-oh.
I
There we
do
go.
make you unhappy, and I do let you down.
Only you know if you can change it or do better. I know you're not perfect. I've seen you be pretty damn close. I've seen you do better than this. I've seen you control yourself more. I've seen you react less. I've seen you be less. I've seen you have way more control over yourself. So fucking edgy, and you get so mad so fast, and you stay mad. I've seen this happen before, and I've also seen you better. I've seen you clearer. I've seen you better. I've seen you do better, and you don't let me down. And I subsequently will do better and let you down less. How? I'm not changing how I do.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talks like this in real life. Like, she is clearly launching into her stupid audition tricks and her methods of when she has to audition. And this is drama like 101. Remember how I complained about how in Hollywood now there's this whisper acting people do? Like, you got two people in them as they are in a super mansion. There's nobody around. I mean, there's they have assistants and shit, but they're not. I'm sure there's soundproof everything there.
Well, they've heard worse.
They're just whispering. Nobody talks like that. I've never once came close to that decibel of that sort of restrained. And you see this in movies and TV now with these Juilliard trained act do this whisper speaking where they're kind of you literally have to put closed captions on to understand, to see what you're like. What? That's what he said. This is just right out of just like dramatic acting. Like I said, like an Adderall Diaries audition is what she's doing during this whole thing. Nobody talks like this. I don't know anybody who speaks, male or female.
She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
You're changing how you do things. This is dramatic change. And it's been been a few months now, and I'm begging you, now is the time. If you choose to stop it, fucking great. I'll be with you to change.
His cough is so much clearer than her speaking.
Promises and then wind up in another situation like Toronto, where you're booking a room or trying to get me on a flight, or I'm not saying any of the things, and I'm hearing all this shit, and I'm not defending myself, and I'm coming to you saying I love you, and I'm trying to protect you from yourself, and I get destroyed. I can't do it again. I won't ever survive through that again. And I don't want to. You leave me unhappy.
I don't want to. I don't want you to.
When you leave me like that?
I don't want to be unhappy.
Instead of just like
They say in the movies, Sarah, a lot of times, you ever watch a movie now where the action, the explosions, and the noise supersedes the actor's dialogue? You can't hear the actor speaking. A lot of the action movies now, you can't hear that means that they're not properly mic'd.
Exactly.
So a lot of times, I think they do this in every movie. The actor's always supposed to have like a microphone, a mini mic on their whatever they're wearing. So the dialogue is clear and it comes through. If I'm their therapist, I'm just like, I can't would you mic yourselves, please? Well, how is he supposed to work with that? This is supposed to, for everybody who doesn't know, they record in this, they're in family therapy and like husband and wife therapy, and they're supposed to bring this back to their therapist, and he's supposed to have a therapy session where they go over the audio and they analyze it to each other. So I'm the therapist. I'm going, mic yourselves up. Stop. I can't do anything with this. You're stupid whispering and you're mumbling in the background. Mic yourself up.
Maybe she's mumbling because there are things that she doesn't want to be known. The way she argues with him.
Well, too bad. That's
some of the words she
part
uses.
of the therapy.
I know, but she's not normal.
You're saying to me that I would, for a long time, I was able to keep everything together, and when we fought,
do you remember?
Like, be cool. Yeah, exactly.
You remember?
And it was for a while, right?
Yeah, it was.
So
we could have arguments. It was like, okay, normal. No,
right.
we can't have an argument. No,
Right, but there was one or two in Australia when I was calm-headed and all that shit. That, I mean, what am I reacting to? If I'm trying to keep a cool head, I'm reacting to you fucking jumping.
No, before a jump, just a normal argument.
Down on Jump Street.
Is in middle ground.
There is, but
you just go, that was rude, or you snap.
You tend to jump. You tend to jump.
Okay.
Down on Jump Street.
This is before the jump. This is like a normal. Fuck, man, that really fucking sucks. Like, I matter too, or whatever it is. And it's not.
You think you don't matter with me?
It's not. That's the point. It's an example.
I'm sorry.
There are times when you can make, for months now, consistently.
Wow, I have no idea.
You have been. I did. I've told you a million times. I've actually told you probably about 5 times.
They need a Donnie Brasco therapist.
I can't have a normal complaint. I can't have any problems with you. Baby, I feel like I can't tell you anything's wrong. Baby, I feel like I can't be honest with you. Baby, you gotta relax a little. What the fuck? I gotta be able to tell you if something's wrong. How many times have you heard me say that? I have told you this. I've also mentioned how different it was in Australia and begged for whatever that... Was it clarity? Is it less Adderall? I don't know. Is it work? Is it, like, something's affecting you, and I'm not judging.
By the way, Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
do you get you turned me on to that Casey Anthony documentary I watched on was it
I bet you did.
yes. Does she not reek of Casey Anthony?
Yeah, she's got that tone.
What I just watched, I couldn't stop thinking about the succubus during the case. That poor child. What is to come for that poor child?
Don't piss off mommy. She might jump.
More wasted babies in a abortion clinic. Him using baby on her. Is there any worse use of baby?
No.
But she reeked up. She reminds me of Casey Anthony in so many ways.
Mhm.
Just the facial expressions, the incessant lying, the histrionic everything. It's so eerie how much she reminds me of her.
Mhm.
And I'm not just saying that for hyperbole's sake. I really mean it.
Yeah.
I'm not. In fact, you have elucidated my opinion on
Elucidated.
medication. Do I not give you your
Elucidate
meds
this.
every day? Do I not remind you to take them?
Of course.
Do I not?
She didn't say lubricate.
I know that you have to take medication. I am very aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have actually changed my mind a bit as to how necessary they can be. I used to kind of think that they were not superfluous, but I don't know, just like
An escape.
yeah. And now I don't think that, and that's because
If you like
of you. You know, you
pina
changed
colada.
my opinion about that. But I do know you, and you don't know moderation very well. You're allergic.
I'm with her on that.
To moderation.
I
So
gotta say,
I balance you out.
I'm with her on that. I don't agree. I hate her in every way. He does not know moderation.
Mhm.
She's got him there. There's one point I'll give her.
Think a little bit. I try to keep you safe. I try to keep on you a little bit to remind you to take the good ones. You know. Do I not?
You do.
Do I ever
This is the
give you a
first
hard
time there's a
time?
little chuckle, right?
No, about the meds? No. You spoil me. Look, you do all those wonderful things. You take my boots off
I'm
when I
not
get
tooting
home
my
from
own
work.
horn. I'm
No, I'm.
Take my boots
Love
off.
bomb. You know why she does that? Remember the Betty Sue story about how he would remove Betty Sue's shoes
Good
when she would come
callback
home?
to his childhood, Sarah.
Well, he
I'm
said that.
impressed.
I think somebody
I don't know if he
in his
said it.
part.
Maybe I said it.
Somebody.
Yeah, I
No,
said it to you. I think I said it to you.
no.
When
I've heard somebody else say it.
No, I
That
said it
was
first.
okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It could
I'm
be
not.
anyway. But no, stop it. Stop.
I'm not
Pause.
saying you're too.
So the story goes when he was a kid, his mom would come home from a long waitress shift in Miramar, Florida, at some coffee shop, and he would massage her feet as she counted her tips. And so this is a callback to, we think, is a callback to his childhood.
Hmm.
Tooting your own horn. I'm saying there are a lot of beautiful and wonderful things that you do for me that I've never even dreamt like that someone would be so fucking caring as to, you know, hey baby, it's time for your meds, and you know, it's so beautiful that your wife is, you know, doing that. It's beautiful that, you know, the act of just simply taking my fucking boots off when I get home from work. That is monumental stuff to me. The
You've created the
you know,
stress
the
levels.
care throughout the day. You know, here, drink this vitamin water. You know, I mean, there are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things that I could go on and on.
Wouldn't all that go out the window the first time she punches him? For me,
I
it would.
just love in all their entire relationship, the only thing he can think of is you took my boots off and you got me a vitamin water from the refrigerator that I paid for.
Well, she's also
It's
controlling
the
him with
only
the
gesture,
medication.
but it's the only gesture he can think of.
Hmm.
The medication helps her.
It's
It's not
exactly.
like she wants him to be she wants him in a mindset that benefits her.
Well, she wants him to think he has no other option but her.
Yes, he wants her. It's easy to manipulate him when he's under this medication dosage. She
And who
wants
knows what she
him
was getting.
how she wants him. It's not what he
Hmm.
wants. It's his mental state, what he feels good. She wants him to feel the way she wants him to, so she benefits in the situation. She
Hmm.
can manipulate it. What do I get out of this? What do I get out of your mood? That's all. It's all she thinks about.
Hmm.
About you, about us, about how you've made me feel, how you changed my life, how you
Treat the
you know.
stress
But
levels.
I do not want to be I don't want to be a fucking shithead in your eyes.
Thank you for saying
No, it's true, man. It's true. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of positives.
Dude, Chief.
There are
Guy.
a lot of positives. I'm not just saying it. I'm being honest.
I feel someone.
Whoa, speak up.
What I said earlier, if you were not a favorite person, it'd be so easy to walk away. For you too, I'm sure. You know, if you, God, I mean, think about all the times it wouldn't have been very easy to walk based on the bad, on the stress and the fight. But I can't, because you're my favorite person. The most beautiful, dynamic, shiny.
I didn't know she did it twice. Did she say it twice? There we
Twice.
go.
This is a softer version of it.
She has no other words.
She has
for
no
him.
other words. There's a script. It's almost like
It's
she's got
she
an
wrote it
actual
down
script.
one night while he was out of
Yes.
town.
The words are too deliberate.
Let's skip
too
a little
specific.
bit.
She's written it down.
We're never going to get through
I don't
this.
trust that something good's not coming.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not saying this whole thing is
let
good.
it go then.
We just don't know. We just don't. It could ambush us with something good. We're not going to know.
Okay. Well, we're only 28 minutes into an hour and a half, so let's let it go for a couple minutes here, and then we'll reconvene.
Sexy thing, I can't. It's something you fight for. But I'm trying. I just want to feel safe again. I want the stability. I mean, we meant marriage for life, right? We meant like better and worse and all that stuff, even though we didn't say those words.
Of course, and we did.
Better or worse, we didn't say. But, maybe...
Whitney said for better or for worse.
Whitney.
She did?
Yeah.
And then...
But it is for better or for worse for me. It is.
I feel...
I didn't leave last night
You're
because...
making me feel like it's like not... Like we're not there for work.
I left last night, honestly, I swear to you. Because I just couldn't take the idea of more physicality, more physical abuse on each other. Because had we continued, it would have gotten fucking bad. And baby, I told you this once. And I'm scared to death of it.
Baby.
We are a fucking crime scene waiting to happen.
That is well said.
Get our shit together.
Stop it there. That's amazingly prophetic.
Mm-hmm.
He sees where it's going. He says crime scene. There's a 21 Jump Street chalk outline waiting to happen as Adabo pushes the kid off the building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's eerie to hear that. She somehow can't see. He knows where this is going. And he could see he's like, okay. Right. And eventually this is going to go in a direction where there's no coming back. And boy, he nailed it here.
It's coming soon. That crime scene.
Real soon.
They've already had a few crime scenes.
It's an actual crime. It's an actual crime scene.
Mm-hmm. No police were called, but it's a crime scene.
Yeah. Very
by getting that shit together. Mm-hmm. That might mean fucking A, we do this and we make it. That might mean goddamn, you say I've tried and done, toodaloo. But we've got to get our shit together as individuals and as a couple. Because I love you and I do not want to leave you. I do not want a divorce. I do not want you out of my life. I just want peace. And if I'm the culprit, majority of the time, I will fucking do everything I can. And I will recognize when I'm fucking starting to go sideways. I will recognize it. please do the same. Please do the same. And it's okay to fight, like you said. It's okay.
What?
How traumatized? Obviously, he has more options than Windows 11. How traumatized do you think he is as far as trust in the female species after this, especially like in a mate or a partner? All you fangirls who think you're his next wife, that
Well,
he just,
remember
the
who
more
the
you
next
know about it,
girlfriend
the more you
was.
claimed it. The Polak, I mean the
Oh my God.
the sublime Russian.
Yeah, the very young, not
Right.
illegally young,
Well,
but
I'm just talking about an intimate thing like that. Sounds like a that doesn't. I mean, that's not there anymore, right? That the sublime
no,
Russian is
no, she's
not so
gone.
sublime anymore, right? She's Pauline. I think there was this thing with her that said she didn't want to be part of this toxic
Mm-hmm.
trial stuff, so she's like, I can't take the attention from this, and she just
Yeah, I don't know why they
exiled
broke up.
herself back to Siberia with Colossus and Kitty Pryde.
She's getting ready to
What I'm saying
attack
is,
Ukraine.
what he can't possibly, he has to be so damaged, and I don't mean this in oh poor Johnny, but just psychological in terms of the trust of that ilk, that he's the people he's surrounded by in that world, who
Mm-hmm.
the more you know about him, the less he's going to trust you. Like, oh, okay, you just researched my whole biography, and I'm supposed to believe that. Here we go again. I think he has to be ridiculous. Think of all this. This has been going on for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not over. It's still not close to over. This is going to haunt, as rich and as brilliant as his career has been, and there's been missteps, and we've gone over a million times. He is now synonymous with this shit. This is all anybody can think of now when they see him, is her, him and her. She doesn't deserve to be lumped in at all with his name. It was sullied in the beginning, and I just don't think this guy's going to trust any female under the age of 50 ever again, or 45.
I would hope he would find somebody more appropriate and not
Exactly.
be smitten with the Spitfire.
Exactly.
And
Well, the pussy fog is everything in this situation. And like I said, he made his own bet. He was a willing participant. He has himself to blame for not having that spidey sense, for falling for her lascivious ways, for falling that harpy lascivious ways, shrew ways. But I just don't think, like you said, it's going to have to be age. If you want to trust someone in that industry, it's going to have to be age appropriate, or
he
be
is going to
prepared
have
for
to
that to happen all over
realize
again.
he's going to have to realize that us boring older women are not going to smack the shit out of him when we take his boots off after he comes home. We mean it. It's not part of a plan. We're not looking to photograph him every time he gets a hangnail or falls asleep with, his foot off the side of the bed. We're not going to do that. We're there because we want to be with this person, and we are there to support them. We're a team, blah, blah, blah. But he's got to get over this thing where, oh God, she's so hot. You know, go with a 7 instead of a 9. You'll be even happier. You'll be okay.
An
Someone who gets
Austin
along
7
with
or
your
an Austin 9?
children.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm talking about a
Gets
Salem,
along with your
Oregon.
sister.
He needs to go with a Salem, Oregon 4. That's what I got for him.
Has he ever been to Oregon? He's been to Washington filming Benny and June. We found that great footage of him with the house rental thing when he's
Yeah, I
filming,
think
like
that might be the closest.
took over the block.
Yeah, but who knows?
I feel like something with him in Oregon. I gotta think back.
How'd
I'm
you pronounce
blanking.
it?
Oregon.
No, get out of here.
Oregon. How about we
I'm
call
removing you.
Oregon Girl starring Amber Heard.
Okay. Oregon. All right. Oregon.
You gotta. How do you remember that? I mean, how do you know that? Because sometimes you're so clear as to what is priority to you and what you care about, and then you seem to forget it when you get mad.
I could say the same thing about you, Angel.
Sure.
Oh.
But I'm asking you, like,
Say
what do
Angel?
you do to him?
Yeah.
Like, how, if it was just up to self-control.
Man, I can't take the
That's
superlatives.
why I think the list is important.
Baby
Yeah.
and
One,
angels.
two lists.
I want a list, though, of what...
Here are things that you do that can hurt me or fuck with me or makes me mad or this or that. And, you know, and we take it without freaking out. Just take it and own it and study it and fucking, and if we have a different opinion, let's talk it out a little bit. Let's talk it out a little bit.
He's.
And
I keep forget. I keep forget. Not. I keep forgetting he is much closer to her parents' age than hers. I always think that, you know, like, it's kind of weird, right? I think her parents are like in their mid-60s or something.
I think so.
And he's just a couple 7 years away from that or whatever. And he's 25 years older than she is, and it's the generation. It's bizarre. It's really
Well, look
odd
at just go back and read the text messages once that he had between him and her parents. You can tell he relates to them,
I know.
on a much higher
I know.
level.
That could be
her
definitely.
father had ulterior motives with the script and needed funding, but I think the mother was genuine.
Is Adam Waldman allowed to represent him in this trial?
No, I think he was
Is he
removed.
Banning.
Yeah, he was leaking information.
He's psycho. He's a maniac. But that's what you need. You need a
He's a
pit
he's a
bull.
great warrior to have on your side.
Absolutely. I follow him on Instagram. This is how ridiculous we are as Depp heads. This was just so ridiculous. I was talking about how the cringe the compilation videos of his kids set to like Adele and stuff, and how he just makes my skin crawl. And how, but this, I mean, even just something. Why am I so noble? I'm following Adam Waldman and his family on Instagram. You know, like, this is the level we go to with this guy. We all have our little embarrassing.
I will never admit mine.
Okay.
No, I will. I think I have.
What is it?
I got to really focus. I'll get back to you by the end of the show.
All right.
I'll make a fucking list. You make a fucking list of all the things that you think you do that you'd like to change. The things that I do that I'd like to change. In fact, that's the first list we should write.
Yeah, I was going to say this. The first list that you mentioned, it just... Someone once said to me, as soon as you start listing what you don't like about the other, the relationship's over.
I think, Sarah,
well, they kind of said it as a list.
I brought up the lawyers and Adam Waldman because I think that his relationship with her parents is going to be used to his favor magnificently during the trial. Like, why is he getting along with your parents better than you do? They're on his side. They say you're lying. Why in the F should we believe you?
Well, I don't know.
Anything?
They don't come out and say she's lying. They come out like the mother says.
They do in a few texts. I think they imply
the mother says. The mother says, "Well, this is what her lawyer told her to do." She doesn't come out.
Which is basically an admission to lying.
It can be twisted, and the mother's no longer on the planet, so they can twist her text however they want.
Aside, they were like, well, that's how you know.
Send me write me a letter, put it in an envelope every morning if you want, or on a little notebook.
I would.
What you do wrong?
No.
I'm good at writing notes.
Oh no! Please don't. Please love me today. Please don't hurt me.
Please tell me use a Mont Blanc pen.
Oh God! Oh, a quill.
Remember he shilled for them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Mont Blanc commercial where he's writing.
Do you think that it's a real that he uses an actual quill with like an ink thing, like the little ink?
I got to look at that when we go over the financials, the chart, crazy chart we have with all his money. he's made over the years, and the breakdown as Scaramanga Brothers, and I think I'm almost positive the Mont Blanc money isn't what he made on that is in there somewhere. It's fascinating.
I think I saw that somewhere too.
Get crazy today.
But then what happens if one of us gets hurt or not? Because that's life. It will come up. If we don't do things differently, then why a list of things that we don't do? I can't keep throwing our relationship in the air every time we get mad because all bets are off every time the blood pressure goes up a certain amount.
Look, these don't have to be followed through with. These are just things that I suggest because I don't give a fuck some cock says if, oh, as soon as you make a list, it's like, yeah, fuck that.
I don't know.
That's the therapist?
I do it.
I don't, look, it doesn't have to be gross. It just, you've just, I mean, I don't need a list. You just went through the majority. And I went through a lot of mine. And you don't have to make the other fucking list. I'll make the other list.
No, I'm not saying I don't want to make that list. I agree about that one. I just want to know what we're going to do differently and how to help check each other on what the other one needs so that it doesn't get to this point. I can't keep living like this.
Oh, I can't keep living like this either.
I've
got less time on the fucking planet than you. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life fucking fighting with and being a drag to someone that I fucking adore.
See, kids, who says he has a Peter Pan complex?
I'm not living my life like that.
He knows his age.
The rest of my
He
fucking days,
age,
but, fuck what I got. Who knows? Fucking month, fucking 2 weeks, goddamn 30 years. I don't fucking know, but
stop it. I mean, pause.
Sure.
He's very much, and he's right. He's very much in this. Life is short. We can die tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I found it depressing. Listening to this audio initially, this very part where he has this mortality in him now. He isn't in this delusional, omnipotent and I'm going to live forever, quote oasis. He feels death, and he has a lot of bad habits, and he has a lot of things that Dr. Kipper aside that could sneak up and off him. Mm-hmm. He has dealt with a bunch of tragedies in his life. I mean, these are older people, but from Thompson killing himself to Brando, to his mom, to other people we probably don't even know, but he's feeling mortality very intensely back then, and even more now. He literally doesn't know whether he has 2 weeks to live, 30 years to live. I found that very depressing when I listened to this initially. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm. Well, on a daily basis, he's probably like, what the fuck am I doing? She's screaming.
Yes, that's right. What am I doing? This is how I'm gonna. This is how I'm gonna spend my back nine, as they say.
I totally get it. I've been there.
But also, too, don't you think he's got to be going, oh, God, and I die, my legacy goes to her?
Mm-hmm.
No. So initially, he made sure that his kids were the benefactors.
That led to
that's exactly right. That's really the
breakdowns.
The problem. That really is the thing. That's where
mm-hmm.
this is all going.
And wouldn't your thought be, what, it goes to his kids. I'll be fine.
Right. Wouldn't even the harpiest among have to think that?
Yeah, I'm sure you'd get a house, a couple cars, a nice little, check. Just let the rest of it go to the kids. You don't need it. She does, but.
Precious. I don't want to fuck up yours. I don't want you to fuck up mine.
Oh. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
It freezes up, and then I mute too.
That's right.
I'd like a bit more understanding from both of us.
It's That sounds very good, and I agree. But what about
What she said, I couldn't hear her.
What?
She
Who
said
said what?
that sounds
That sounds very good, and I agree.
Okay, I thought she said something. I couldn't. It was nothing spectacular.
Yeah,
I thought she said a proper word, and I couldn't hear it.
well, barely.
Sorry.
Are
In the
we-
moment.
That's all right.
What are we going to do different in the moment when you're mad and you go fuck
Here
it?
she
You
goes.
In the
decide
moment.
all bets are off.
She
In the
can't help it.
moment.
Stop.
Look
All
what I
bets
did
are
in
off.
Australia. Look what I
Just
accomplished.
Seabiscuit.
I put the fucker away.
I can't steal it.
I told myself every fucking day, no, he's gone. No, he's got fucking put him away. I put
The
him
monster?
away.
Mm-hmm.
And by a list of the things that I feel that fuck you over or make you feel shitty or anything like that, I fucking, when we're in the moment, I remember it. I remember what I put on my list.
What do you think the monster is? Not what she says it is. What do you think the monster is that he's referring to?
Well, how could it be anything else but a temper, a personality shift in a rage that we all have. We all have our days where we lose it. How could it be anything else?
I think it's drug use, of course,
Yeah.
but I think he's got a knack when he's like high on cocaine. He can say
Okay.
stuff that just cuts her to the stump.
Yeah. He could cut you down. Yeah. He's learned from, he's got a ton of stuff in his brain he doesn't release. And he's learned that from Thompson, who is supposedly notorious for cutting you down.
Now, of course, she has used
to the ground.
She's used the term monster, and unfortunately, it's now on audio of him saying, "Yeah, there's a monster."
Let's say, let us just say here. Let's just kind of, for all of you, anybody here who's listening who's not completely familiar with this saga and them and their history and their lingo and the nuances of it, this word monster has been used. It's describing Depp having a split personality where he goes from 0 to 10 and he becomes this crazy violent abuser. And she uses
Well, I was just going to say she's using the monster in the UK trial, and this helped her win. The monster is the perpetrator of vicious beatings.
That's where I'm going.
Given
and this
to
is going to
her.
be used again in Virginia. This is the key word to this whole thing. Monster.
I just wish he would clarify and stop.
But it's a name that he supposedly coined for himself.
I know.
To try to be self-deprecating, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
To own these outbursts and these mood swings.
Yep.
So he coined the mind. She's throwing his own nomenclature.
She's twisting it she's twisting it. She did a great job. And he provided her the ammunition. That's what won the Sun, the UK verdict.
I remember it, and I try to bring it down notches, many notches. I'll try to, if we're heightened, to say, please, I don't want you to feel this. I don't want to feel this. That's
I need to know what we need to do different. I need to know.
It's got to be done with your mind and your heart.
What do we do different if I have a problem? You
Tell
need
me.
to tell me how to tell you different if I'm hurting you. You need to let me be able to be mad. Sometimes you're going to make me mad. I'm a human. I cannot live where it's like...
Well, then it's the same thing goes for me then. You're going to have to allow me to get mad.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but I get mad and then you start fucking yelling.
I don't have to start yelling. I think I start yelling once it gets fucking heightened. I've gotten a lot better about that. It's just only... I only start yelling when it's fucking hour 11
stop
and we're
cursing.
really in it.
Miss Badass Texas bitch. Stop with the F word.
Imagine
they
the
make me just hate
nightmare.
the F word.
Imagine how long these screaming matches go on.
Fucking.
Oh my god.
And every time you fucking.
Split.
Fucking split.
I don't want to talk about Toronto. Oh my god.
Very nice.
And he's not supposed to leave?
Because
leave.
I'm only human.
Oh, what?
Of flesh and blood of man. I'm only human, born to
Ugh.
make mistakes. I want to see the Hollywood Vampires cover that.
Oh
They don't
God!
like
Please don't. Do not give that. I put that out in the universe, please.
it.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have had 3 physical fights in the last month and a half.
Loves
I'm
that.
not
Just
talking
What a
about
nightmare.
that.
No, but we
I'm suddenly
we
craving Burger King. I don't know why.
witnessed
it's
it. You're the one that brought it
podcast
up.
night.
Australia was fucking
I-
great. We just argued.
I smelled the
go
Whopper
back.
coming through the. I don't know. I don't know.
Coming through your shorts just now.
You know the
smell the Whopper.
the cartoon smoke with a finger goes into your nose. The smoke goes into your nose. That's what I don't know why. I just had a Whopper craving.
What? You know what I took from that? You put your finger in your nose and you smelled a Whopper.
No, I'm talking
I
about the
do-
old like Looney Tune cartoons where the smoke would come into your nose and it would like point the finger to lead you
Oh,
to-
okay, yeah.
There. Let's go back there in our fucking heads and on our hearts. Let's go back there. And no, on your
Is the
list.
monster gone? Did you put him away? It's been so. When you get on that train, you get angry. You stay on it for so long, and you won't come down. You won't talk to the person
That's
that
not.
is you.
That's not all.
Okay. I take the monster as something else now. The monster is him leaving. When you
Well,
get
you
on
think
that
that's
train,
under the description of
because remember,
the-
for her, that's the worst thing in the world he could do is leave.
the monster does whatever he wants. Kind of,
Yeah.
I go where I want to go.
The monster abandons me. I mean,
could be.
you stay on that train for hours and hours and hours, but that contradicts everything else she said, where he leaves immediately, with and doesn't stay and fight. So if he's on that train for hours and hours and hours, that's when he's gone. I think.
I mean, and then there's him leaving a potential crime scene.
Yeah,
Is
well,
that part of it too? Is she
yeah.
considering that the monster? I don't know. This monster could.
I
has
know.
80 different definitions to it.
The end
might
result
be
is
just-
she was the smarter one with that term monster, took it and ran. And
Yeah,
she
because
scored
how do you misinterpret the
7
word
touchdowns.
monster?
Yeah. I
Right?
think the judge,
It's not like up for
the UK
interpretation.
judge, even wrote
Monster.
about the monster in the decision. So she won.
It's also him like humble bragging in a way.
I know. It's that more
He
that
likes
tough talk.
It's backward compliment, right? Tough talk. I'm crazy.
That's what
He
that's
likes the let's go back to MVDV, recalcitrant spirit he has been tacked with, and that's under that the monster.
yeah.
Always. That's not always.
Doesn't
big.
have to always be the monster, but what is it? Can you put that away? Can you remember the bigger picture? You don't want to spend your life. I've asked you this so many times in fights. You want to spend your time like this. No, you don't. But I ask you because this is something you're choosing. I'm saying to you, olive branch.
Oh
And
my
you don't
God,
take my olive branches. You made me feel humiliated for offering them. You asked me to stay in Australia. I stayed, and then you walk out on me all
poor
the time.
baby.
I know.
Super duper
You
on
gotta take
Disney's
some
dime, by the way. Super duper mansion with all the amenities. Go wherever you want. Beautiful oceans and water and
Yeah.
Bon Jovial and
Go for a walk through that beautiful
I
neighborhood.
feel so sorry for you.
Yeah.
Taking a 2-month vacation to Australia on Disney's dime where you get
Well,
everything. What a tortured soul.
It's coming out in the trial, but remember when he's wandering, or he's off in a different wing of the house with his finger cut off. She's putting on her little bikini bottoms, going for a little swim. Had time. She went up and showered. He's writhing in pain, wandering around like a zombie, losing so much blood. And apparently she put a cigarette out on his face too, as he's just lost a finger.
What is it rolled? Was it a rolled up brown cigarette or
No, probably. She probably took it out of his mouth and put it out on his cheek.
It's better
else
when
would
it's
she
rolled
get
up
it?
in brown. It feels better when
Yeah.
it's rolled up in brown.
Oh my God.
Olive branches from me. You gotta offer them too. You gotta be bigger than what you feel at that moment. And so do I. So do I. But if I call you on it, will you hear it?
Yeah.
Will you call me out on it if I'm doing it?
Oh yes, I will. Yes, I will. And I'll do it in a fucking as peaceful a fucking and as calm a manner as I possibly can. I don't want to instigate any fights. I do not want to fight anymore.
Say we're having an argument and you get mad.
An argument's an
How
argument.
can, yes, but say we're having an argument and you get mad. It escalates. How do you talk to the you that's in front of me right now? What do I need to say? What do I need to do? We don't want to spend our life mad like that. Doesn't mean you have to like what I'm saying or doing or vice versa, but
Can't
can
you just
calm
say,
down?
baby, please, please.
Oh, the
don't
baby, I
come on to
hate it, I
Don't
hate
say,
it, I
please
hate it.
don't, let's not yell. Please don't, you know what I mean? And I'll do the same.
Promise.
I mean, that
I've done the
Vince
same.
Vaughn.
You promise.
Yeah, I mean, what? Yes. Why would I say it
just
if I
want
didn't?
because sometimes you don't keep what you say, and I want this to be different.
So now my words are worse.
No, that's not the case. It's just that sometimes when you get mad, it's like you disconnect from the person that you are right now. And I'm wondering just how to what's the communication? What's the phone number? For that.
And you, how do I calm you down when you go into a flurry?
Maybe say, remind me, remember what we talked about. Calm down, baby.
Yeah, that'll work.
Down.
Calm down,
The
baby.
bigger picture.
Something will remind me of this conversation, when I'm upset and I'm feeling like it's pointless,
Don't ever lie.
I don't ever lie. I know you and I see things differently sometimes, but I'm not lying. For someone who, I know that's your deepest fear and that's why it comes up in fights and stuff, but you got a trust issue in general in life.
Oh, yeah.
I never fucked you over, and I'm not going to. And anybody who knows me, if they had to list 2 or 3 things about me, adjectives about me, one of those 3 would be super honest, straight.
Ugh.
Except for she's fucking multiple men in your marital bed, Mr. Depp. But yeah, she's pretty cool. Honest chick.
Can we do this with Howard all the time on Gunk, everything out of his mouth is a lie. But this is a guy who, anybody who has to remind you how honest they are all the time is probably the biggest pathological liar you've ever met. They're so overcompensating because they know deep that everything out of their mouth is some fantastical fib, embellishment, or just straight up lie.
Well, that's
You
their
don't
biggest.
remind people, like we said last time, a strong man doesn't have to remind you how strong he is, or a strong woman.
Yeah.
Just like that. A lie, anybody who's actually honest doesn't have to tell you they're honest over it. When they tell you that and they preface that up front, a lie is sure to come directly after that.
Well, yeah, their biggest fear is you're going to find out what they've been doing.
Yep.
But I'm honest.
He's already calling her a liar in that. Did you hear him slip in? He
Yeah.
goes, I just thought you were lying during that. He's already catching it. He already knows deep down she lies her ass. He's caught her, and he won't acknowledge it. He's not really going full on acknowledging what she really is. He's using kid gloves here. He's using for the therapist.
Forward, honest. Everyone else in my life, I know you have trust issues, but you can't let it cloud you know with me. Please. It comes up a lot. I know you have an issue with it.
Sorry. She can also blame all of his suspicions on his trust issues. Like, I'm not cheating on you. These are just your trust issues that we've discussed over and over and over. She's also making the therapist
right.
She's making
you
the
could shoot down
therapist
anything he
aware.
says. That's exactly right. That's a great point by you.
But she's making the
She could shoot
therapist
down
aware
anything he
via
says.
the tape, so the therapist can also blame any of his suspicions on it's your trust issues, sir.
Anything egregious she does, it's just, oh, well, you got trust issues.
Well, and you're drunk. You're drunk and high. You were drunk and high. You don't remember anything. You beat me.
Right. And then between the drugs and the trust issues, right? He has nothing to stand on. He's no credibility. The way she's going to spin it.
She's very smart.
not me. You can trust me.
In a sociopath way, not
If
a.
Yeah,
anything,
oh,
Say
absolutely.
that to me.
There's no other way.
What? Say what? Though?
What you just said. Say that stuff to me at the time. If I'm starting to fucking flip, you know, you're off doing a movie or I'm off doing a movie or whatever.
I feel like I do, but I guess I should say it different. I'll find another way.
We are the
Okay,
mumbles.
so
I know.
It depends, yeah. Let's both pay attention to how we talk to each other, to respect each other.
You know, we're not going to do that all the time. Sometimes we're going to be shitty or whatever.
Of course not.
But we make a promise to each other about the rings and the divorce.
No rings, no divorce.
We promise each other.
And
He was
Who's
often
in-
told in the UK trial to speak up. He was berated by their lawyers that he just wasn't articulate. He wasn't enunciating well into their microphones in this, you know, completely quiet courtroom. So he's just constantly trails off. He's constantly doing that trail off voice. Like I said, in that trial, he was told how many times to speak up, but they couldn't understand. The stenographer couldn't get what he was saying.
Yeah. I
And
hear
he's
him
really
better than I hear
articulate
her.
when he wants to be. Yeah, I know. But she's doing it, and it's so affected and deliberate and
Yeah.
passive aggressive. He's doing. That's how he really
Totally
is.
calculating. Yeah, exactly.
He gets shy and he starts to. I mean, not saying he's shy here, but he starts to lose. I think he just doesn't like.
I think he just gives up.
He's not a loudmouth. You know, he starts to trail off. He doesn't like to be on display long periods of time, and his voice starts to trail off. He loses confidence, I guess.
He resigns to his fate in this conversation.
Yeah.
And eventually he's just like, yeah, I know, I love you too. All right.
It's exhausting. It's just every day with this harpy.
Not so bad to feel like the marriage I
promise you.
worked so hard to make happen is like meaningful.
Don't talk about making the wedding happen. Talk about the 4 years we've spent together, please.
Yes, but I want to make. I have those 4 years, no matter what. But I fought for that wedding, and we had that wedding, a beautiful wedding. For what? If we don't, I want to like. It means something. That there's some.
Yeah. It did mean something, and it does mean something. And I didn't get married to you to fucking. Just fucking, 17 more fights and it's fucking over with.
She's really good at painting something she wants that they want it. And so the wedding, she's acting like he wants it as much as he doesn't want anything to do with it. He was with Vanessa Paradis for 14 years. They never got married.
Had kids, never got married.
Had kids and never got married. That's the real guy. That's what she wants. It. She wants leverage. She wants nuptial leverage, so she could pull the long con. Even that's the slam dunk. That's the alley-oop. That's
keep feeding him, marry him. Keep feeding him cocaine. Eventually, he'll just drop, and it's all yours. She's trying to
manipulate him into thinking he wants this marriage. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Like I said, he's just coming off from a France mentality of 14 years with Vanessa, of not caring about the ring and a piece of paper, and they have kids. He doesn't want anything to do with this. And he knows, he's been warned by his family, by his sister, by his mom, by Adam Waldman, by Doug Stanhope, do not marry her.
And here we are.
We got married. I knew the fucking fights weren't going to stop, but I thought maybe it would curb them a little.
How is that?
Security back.
He's also telling her what she wants to hear. In some ways.
I freak out and cannot make normal decisions, calm decisions, or ones from the heart where I'm thinking of you more than me, when I feel like you're splitting on me all the time, when the marriage is on the rock. I make the same mistake about throwing our marriage around. I won't do it again. I'm not going to do it again. okay?
Please.
I'm not, I promise. But
Sarah,
but they're so
I'm sorry to pause for a second. Why is it, if anybody with extensive therapy knowledge of what goes on in these family counseling or family therapy or husband and wife couples therapy, why is why can we not hear the therapist in this? Meaning, I know he's not. Why can't we hear their therapy sessions with him?
Oh, I don't know.
Why is that not released?
I don't know.
Aren't they recording those too?
I have no idea. Maybe
Wouldn't
the
you love to hear the therapist's feedback?
Well, of course, there's probably notes. I think there are notes because she was diagnosed at some point
Do you think
by,
it's
I
possible
believe, a
we'll hear the
therapist.
therapist? Do you think it's
I
possible
don't
we'll
know. I
hear
don't know.
the therapist?
That might be part of his evidence. We don't know
Shouldn't
everything.
he be subpoenaed?
Yeah, but maybe he's already given a statement. I don't know because we there are documents where she's been diagnosed. In
Yeah.
the Australian audio, Australia audio, they're talking about the medication she has to take, which is it's a bipolar / schizophrenia medication.
Yep. That's
So
big
she's
time stuff.
diagnosed. She can pretend that, he's the one that needs all this medication. She's doing it too. Probably not even taking it.
there's something so anxiety provoking and scary and malicious and really just turns everything over when you split all the time. Please, if you really don't want to fight and you're not just trying to hurt me, which sometimes it is that, if you really love me and you do care about this, please find a good way to do it one that's respectful. You
Lighter.
can tell me that you are. You can.
That thing's gotta weigh 20 pounds.
We will be able to talk about it because the problem I have is when we don't communicate.
The lighter is
it comes
5
into
times
me,
more
it wells
articulate
up in
than
me
they
and
are.
becomes cancer in me. It got worse every day when we were back in
It enunciates its M's and N's. Toronto.
Toronto. It got worse every single day.
Oh, she said it.
Not better,
Toronto.
worse.
Toronto.
Until we spoke about it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Until Whitney's birthday, and we talked about it. Then it was okay, but I need. That's. I don't want to resent you.
Yeah.
I don't want to resent you. I don't want to not trust.
You know how many times I've chased you out of the elevator in the hall?
What was that? Who chased?
Do you know how many times I've chased you out of the elevator
Okay.
into the hall?
Okay.
What
I
a
thought somebody
scene.
else did. Wow.
That happened to me once. I'm out. I'm not dealing with your shit.
I think we're going to see some good footage coming up at the trial from this.
God.
I think he excavated some great elevator footage we haven't seen.
Oh, I can't wait.
I don't think we know anything yet.
I can't wait.
Yep.
And by the way, while the trial is going on, we're gonna talk about it. That's not gonna be every episode though. But if something big happens, we're gonna talk about it.
Stop doing that. I'm not nitpicking. I don't mean to be focusing on something, but if it's a major thing to me, and it is a major.
If things get physical, we have to separate.
No,
We have to be apart from one another, whether it's for fucking an hour or 10 hours or fucking.
Can you
a
lay
day.
that out any clearer than that?
No.
If you're the jury that claims to be unbiased here,
Mhm.
can you lay that out any clearer about abuse?
There is one line in this that I think they might focus on too much.
Yeah, of course. They'll do anything they can get.
It's where he says the physical. I'm paraphrasing. The physical stuff from both of us is what we have to stop. It's like, why? Don't say that, dude. Not that he knew what was coming, but you got to protect yourself from day one. You
say
know
dude
what
now?
she's capable of. What?
Yep. You
What'd
say
you
dude now?
No, shut up. Bitch.
Whoa!
I should have said bitch. Okay.
Texas bitch.
Oh God, Tonto man. You're my Tonto man. All right, goodbye. Okay.
We must.
Don't lump him alone. Army Hammer. I'm the real arm.
God. Your arm E hammer. Arm E, big hammer. Okay, done. Okay, no more.
There can be no physical violence
I
towards each
agree
other.
about the physical violence, but separating for a day or
I'm-
night
I'm-
and taking a night off from our marriage
No,
like
no,
that,
no.
it just means it opens up.
Listen, I'm just giving examples. It could be fucking 3 minutes. It could be fucking 2 weeks. I'm just
No, but we
saying.
need to agree on certain boundaries so we have boundaries again. We need to make
Not a
agreements and
tier.
hold each other accountable to them and ourselves accountable to them, which is why I'm even bringing this up.
I'm not
You know what I mean?
saying anything negative.
I know.
All I'm saying is we need to take whatever time we need, you need, or I need, to kind of let things settle for a minute. So that we don't fucking kill each other or fucking worse, fucking
And there's nothing wrong.
really kill
What's wrong
each
with
other.
that? Nothing.
Or fucking break up or whatever.
Get it out.
I think that
Help me,
I-
I'll help you.
Oh, is that a Jerry Maguire quote?
Oh God.
I heard he was second in line for Jerry Maguire, by the way,
No.
after Cruz.
this is the thing that makes me feel unsafe.
There's no doubt that was a Jerry Maguire quote.
You hear what she said?
No, I'm sorry. Go back a little.
You don't need to go back.
But-
She said one line, but he says.
What was it?
You heard him say, we need to separate.
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't kill each other. She goes, this is the one thing that I worry about. Like him leaving again. That's what it's all about.
I think it's all about attention.
And yeah.
Any way she can get it. From
Mhm.
London, from Point Blank. It's all about his reaction and getting her hooks in him for the
Mhm.
long con.
To be honest, this is what makes me not trust.
What's that?
It's that there's like
Walking away, going to her corner.
no loophole. It's like, oh, okay, well, take the time you need, take the time I need. Okay, fine. Every time I get mad at you, I can go split. Except for, oh wait, I don't have my own place to go split to.
There we go.
No, Amber, stop.
You need. It would really help if you could buy me 5 penthouses, so I can go somewhere and
That's
I can
exactly what she's up to.
exactly.
Spot on. That's exactly what she's up to.
Mhm.
Expanding
You know,
The
the
portfolio.
playground. Yeah,
Yeah.
expanding the what's not the Lilith Fair, the Coachella Fest
Mhm.
of poser friends he has, bead wearing Coachella posers,
I want you to buy me
LA grifters.
buy me a penthouse and we can share a bed. I mean, you can come over sometimes. I might crap in the bed because I get mad at you, but
And just like you, I paint and I can have my own art studio in Penthouse 5.
her stuff's garbage.
You guys should. It makes me, I don't have a place I can go. I don't have it. I'd have to go to a hotel, you know?
No.
And
You're
I
so
don't have
right,
the
Sarah.
fun.
I didn't even catch it the first time. That's exactly, she is laying it on
Mm-hmm. And I need my friends. I mean, that's my support system.
to buy her a party palace.
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable with somebody else owns this penthouse. What if they're watching me out the
So
peephole?
right.
You need to
didn't
buy
catch that the
all of
first
them. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, so you got it. You nailed it.
Funds to do that. I mean, it's.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Look, I
saying-
think we should control ourselves and not get physical. And if it gets physical, and we've dropped that wall, then we're gonna drop the other ones. And it's gonna be like you're gonna fucking split, or I'm gonna fucking split,
Ugh.
and
You may,
this isn't gonna come back.
You may be right, but you can't predict the future once again. Here's what I'm saying. If the fight escalates to the point of where it's just insulting for both of us, or if it gets to that physical fucking shit, the violence, that's when we just say, look, let's go to our corners, man. You hang wherever you want, baby. I'm going in the office.
Oh,
I'm just gonna fucking
baby.
sit there and try and
Wait,
de-jellify my
subliminally
fucking
through.
brain. I'm not talking about me running out of the fucking house. I'm not talking about me splitting because I'm fucking cunt and a coward and or whatever. I'm talking about go to our corners. I'll go to my little office. You can have the house. You could just take the house and wander wherever you want. I won't fucking come bother you.
Oh.
And if you
nail it, Sarah.
You're
How about you
nailed
say,
it. He walked right into her trap.
Exactly.
That. Oh God, you called it.
How about you say to her, you touch me one more time in anger, you scream in my face, you try to manipulate me in any way, you're gone. And then that's it. If she fails, she's gone. I get you love her. She's great in bed, probably. She's got a nice rack. Look at her brain. She is fucked up. Good luck, pal.
What did you say? More splits than Molly Shannon and Superstar?
Oh my God. I had a really lame when you talked about oh my God, who's the gymnast? Fuck.
Mary Lou Retton?
Yeah, oh my God. I wanted to call her something else. And I know I'm old enough to know who you're talking about. I was going to say it's so lame. More splits than Greg Louganis on a diving board. Remember Sorry.
Here comes a gay joke. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. And I was going to end it there, and you had to make it gay.
Didn't Mario Lopez, speaking of gay, didn't Mario Lopez play him in a wasn't it like a USA movie or TV movie or something like that?
It was like an NBC maybe movie. Like a Saturday night movie. It's horrible.
Mario Lopez is probably the only one who had to gain weight to play Greg Louganis. or was too gay to play Greg, too homoerotic.
Yeah. You want to talk about an asshole?
Get a little more masculine, Mario. What?
You want to talk about an asshole? Mario Lopez.
I've heard that too.
He's on his honeymoon. On his honeymoon, he's cheating on his wife.
Is that true?
That's very true.
Aren't you the queen of the chemical peel?
Nobody's going to know what you're talking about.
No. You were telling me, like, didn't you say that you talk about like plastic surgeries and stuff? And
I think I don't have a special skill. I haven't looked at him lately, so I don't know. I've heard things about him. Like he looks different.
Oh, he gets like the plastic surgery allegations.
I guess whatever. I haven't even thought to Google him in like 50 years. So
the shiny, the face is just glistening with.
Well, shiny people are beautiful. Remember, that's what we've been talking about here.
Feeling like better after 10 minutes? Come knock on the door.
I always do that.
And
she kicks the door in.
Finish. And if in 10 minutes I'm feeling like, all right, I got the solution for this, or I know we can, please, I'll come knock on your fucking door.
All right.
Or I'll come find you.
You tried.
What?
You tried to not make it.
I've just told you.
An all-night thing. I wasn't done.
I wasn't done.
You tried.
You're done.
Not make it.
You were at the Regal Beagle with Larry Dallas. Come knock on my door.
Sal Janko is
Larry Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gold chain nestled in the forest of black chest hair.
I love that show.
That's a good show.
I love that show.
I need to binge it again.
It's so underrated. Three's Company.
They
sell Regal Beagle. You should put that on your thing. The Regal Beagle T-shirt.
I have another one I'm gonna upload tomorrow. But yeah, that'd be good too.
I bet Shooters from Melrose Place.
Yeah, we'll see if I can find the good logo. There's a couple versions. Come on, there we go.
Try and remind yourself that they can just be fights. We try and
absolutely
respect that it doesn't have to be an all-night.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go to bed mad, and we were doing really good with each other. We were doing it for a long time.
I know, but we weren't insulting one another to the point of like, wow, like the way I insulted you in Toronto, or the way you insulted me on the plane, or wherever.
It's so exasperating.
He's done.
Let's not get to that point. That's nothing. That's bullshit. That's kindergarten shit. We don't fucking need to do that.
I thought you dropped out of kindergarten. That's Owensboro time.
Try to be fucking calm and say, look, this is really This is getting somewhere I don't like. Please, let's take an hour max.
No.
Go.
That's the last thing you want to promise her. Just take
He
cool off for
keeps
an
walking
hour.
right into her web of
I know.
just manipulation. He keeps right into it. Just
Nobody is going to cool down sufficiently after. Can you imagine what her argument
in, in
is
all
like?
fairness, though, I mean, this is all meant for the therapist consumption, and he is trying to be as catering as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to walk into her trap when you're playing to that therapist.
Yeah.
He's going to say all the noble things. He's going to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. If she throws something at you or hits you, leave for a week. Screw her. Leave for a week. Don't even call her, and have her some paper served to her. You don't have to
Rolling papers.
promise, I'll be back in an hour, or come knock on the office door in an hour. Nobody's going to cool down sufficiently. And why do you have to cool
But that's
down?
what the therapist wants to hear.
Learn
You
how to
know
fight
that.
differently.
He knows how. He knows how.
Yeah.
But he
I
knows what the
realize
therapist wants to hear.
nobody can be, react the way I do. I mean, I went through a couple years where I was screamed at right in the face, called every word you can imagine. And I didn't even, I don't even think I blinked. I didn't say a
Your
word.
marriage is a template. Your marriage is a template for what they tried not to do with their therapist. They use your marriage all the time in the privacy of that office.
I
Said
know they should.
this is
I
what to
had my
avoid.
internal monologue going. It's like, you're gonna see. You keep talking. Please call me that C word one more time.
You've
You're
been
gonna
called the
find
C
out.
word?
Oh God, those last few years, absolutely deserved. No. Anyway, I was plotting my revenge internally as I'm being screamed at. It's the greatest thing in the world, and I followed through with it. That's the one thing I'm proud of myself the most for in my life.
The C word meaning charismatic
Exactly.
for
Obviously.
everyone. Yeah. See
I'll
you next
go in and
Tuesday,
I had a
Sarah.
booster shot today. That's why I'm slightly fried right now.
In a good way? Fried in a good way?
No, I don't know. I got a headache anyway. But
That's-
I'm just kidding, everybody. Go get 15 booster shots this weekend. We need to fight this virus. Let's go. All right.
fucking right. And try and figure it out, get it out, whatever. I'm just making suggestions for to try and fucking save us, you know.
We're gonna honor our promises. I cannot, nor can you. You don't deserve to be in a relationship
No.
that is walked away from all the time. You can't. I would never want you to do that. I never want you to be in that. You deserve better. So do I. I
Indeed.
cannot be.
I have a question for you. I hate to interrupt. We're an hour into this audio. We have about another half hour. I'm going to let you call it. Do you want to
let's
do
stop. Let's go. Let's do the comments. Yeah, let's read the comments. We'll stop it now.
Okay. All right. Let
It's a
me
good
mark.
place to mark it off.
Okay. So we got about another half hour. We'll do a part 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. Let me close this out. Okay. All right. Let me. I think these are coming in. Those comments I was telling you about, the tweets,
Okay.
they're still coming in. So I don't know if we want to wait and read the whole thing.
Tweet. I mean, from MVDV or
Yes.
I'd love to know what she's going through with the comment. Why that's not posting. It bothers the hell out of me. That
No,
is
YouTube's
some
weird.
kind of weird. Yeah, it is really weird. So you want me to read mine from the last video? Not the last one we did. The one before it, and then we'll go to the other one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So this is from the first audio breakdown we did. Kylo Sierra Alpha. We love us some KSA. Great job, guys. Thank you, Kylo. Thank you for Andrew Morgan with a great callback joke here, as he's so want to do. He goes, "Hey guys, another winner." By the way, congratulations, Andrew. Your son, we helped had the voting. I don't want to get all Andrew Wiggins on you, but won Ohio Large School Basketball Player of the Week about a month ago. So congrats on that. I never did that. And all my life was basketball in junior high and high school, and I did not come close to that on any level. So congrats, Andrew. He writes, they just keep getting better and better, guys. I got to say, though, episode XIV was way better than episode XIII. So he's mocking my hatred of Roman numerals
Good for
in the
him.
Super Bowl. It's phenomenal.
It's deserved.
It's a phenomenal. Classic Morgan. Classic Andy Morgan. J.I. Young underneath it writes, the Deppening has got Johnny's back. They would oh, this is great. So this is a 21 Jump Street callback. I don't know how he knows us. The Deppening's got Johnny's back. They would share their chocolate milk with him. And I write it. So I see it immediately. I saw it like when he wrote it. I'm like, oh my God, what? I write back. If that's a reference to 21 Jump Street season 2, big disease with a little name, AIDS episode, and Hanson refusing to drink Harley's chocolate milk in the high school cafeteria, I can't applaud this enough. Let's give him a little WNBC golf clap. So that
Camilla is clapping as well.
Be prepared to get a real applause on our show, sir, as we just lived up to. And then he writes back, he follows it up again with, the best advice a mom can give to a complete stranger is, hey, drink my sick son with AIDS milk, please. I can't wait to review that episode.
I don't drink after somebody who doesn't have AIDS.
I would never share milk.
It's gross.
Disgusting.
Backwash.
I barely drink it at all anymore.
Me too. I hit like 30 and I don't want milk anymore.
I use it to cook with. That's about it.
Yeah.
Melissa Vandervet, MVDV, as she is getting insane popularity on this show. She's becoming a major character. She writes, great podcast as always, guys. I use Dutch words like recalcitrant, thinking that they're perfectly fine words in English too, only to find out that no stupid American, she didn't say stupid, ever uses that word in their daily vocabulary. It's rather a lack of language experience, really. No, it's not. The Hollywood Vampires refund situation is annoying as hell. I love that she's going on about this. I can't bring enough attention to this. I want to know what's going on. Ticketmaster, the only website to buy official tickets. Where's Pearl Jam when you need them, by the way?
Now they gave up,
right? Isn't this what they fight against?
Yeah, they gave up, I think.
I know.
They were using what did they, Ticketron or something?
Was it Ticketron or Ticketmaster?
No. They were fighting Ticketmaster, but they took their business to I want to say Ticketron.
Well, they were fighting because they were charging their fans more
their
money
fees
on the
and
tickets.
all that.
Yeah.
So, but they went to.
Let's fight.
Oh God, again, I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say Ticketron. They went to Ticketron and that didn't last long. So I think they're back with Ticketmaster. Again, sorry if I'm wrong.
We know what you mean. I mean, so whatever.
I don't even know what I mean today.
If I keep responding to me that, and they keep responding to me that, and I quote, refunds are made on the behalf of the event organizer and will only be paid once the outstanding monies have been received. Oh my God. What a mess. What a mess.
That's why he's selling NFTs, so he can pay you back.
That's what I was going to say, Johnny, that NFT, that fungible thing you're doing now, you better damn well, but you got to keep fans like MVDV because this ain't working if you lose her.
He's going to sell a portrait of Elizabeth Taylor and then give you the money, the 25% from that sale to you.
The Elizabeth Taylor thing is weird. He has some weird relationship with her, which, by the way, started like in the 90s. I remember reading a weird article on him, and in the article it mentions he somehow has some relationship with Elizabeth Taylor. And Billy Bob Thornton, by the way, lies about, he says he barely knows Depp. By the way, they did Dead Man together through Jarmusch, whatever. That is total bullshit. He was at a lunch with Elizabeth Taylor, Depp, and Steve Martin. How those three got together with her, I have no idea. So he is a lying sack of shit, hair plug, anorexic, hillbilly hump. Screw you, Billy Bob. If I see you, I'm going to crack your spine in the middle of that squared circle. I hate him so much. I'm gonna I'm gonna shave your soul patch off with my fucking jackboot with my cell phone app.
Shave that batch of white hair off of his. He's got like a white carpet growing on his chest.
He's
Last
got
time I saw him.
That's has a soul patch ever been wasted on any human being more than Billy Bob Thornton?
No, distracts from the rest of the mug.
Oh, you got a soul patch. We don't know you're 70. There's no way we don't know you're 70.
No, no, we do. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Sounds like they're indeed waiting for Depp to give back the money he already spent on expensive wine bottles. I'll keep you updated. You kid? MVDV? That is exactly what happened. There's a lot of like I spent it already stuff going on, and the Tracy Jacobs money he owes. It's his money situation. Despite him beating the managers in that lawsuit, I still think he is very much in the hole.
Oh,
Whatever
yeah,
that means in his world. I mean, hole to a multi-millionaire. That's a different hole than you and I. Hooper 45,
Oh my
always
God.
encouraging. Hey
Go
guys,
ahead.
another great show. What's wrong with Hooper?
Oh, me?
Oh, you didn't. You talk about something else.
No.
We love hoops. We love hoops.
No, I know, and I'm not even talking about that. Go ahead.
Another great show, guys. The drama is a perfect example of the train wreck analogy that we use, but this is no greater example than this. No doubt he's totally to be blamed for falling for this broad's con. I'm blaming years of booze and drugs and bringing on the wet brain, but come on. She must have some magical box to have married this broad. I have to give the succubus some credit for pulling this con off that I would love. Oh, it goes on. I gotta hit the other. Pulling off this con, I would love to know how she learned to grift so well from such a young age. Well, she's from the dogfighting family. Her dogfighting family. I think she's from that's in her lineage.
Well,
her
I want
father's a
to.
con man.
Yeah.
Her mother might be.
Before I forget, speaking of the box, Depp has described this box.
Oh, right.
It is in fact magical in the sense of a wizard.
Flappy.
Wizard being magical. You know what I'm going for there?
Flappy Fish Market.
Yeah, or wizard sleeve. Okay.
I think.
What?
No. Okay, so now it's Miss Boggins, one of our new listeners in terms of new in the comment section, is a great post here. Sorry to nitpick, but Billy Bob Thornton wasn't in The Danish Girl with herself. But he was in London Fields and Friday Night Lights with the succubus. Yeah, yes, we went over that in the beginning of this, and you're absolutely right. I kind of blank, and I wrote it back, and I go, you wrote, no need to apologize, consider you a hero for even venturing that deep into her IMDb. Thanks for watching. I followed up and say, that's on me. Good catch, Ms. Boggins. I have this incessant, odd, glitchy habit of constantly confusing London Fields and The Danish Girl, almost like what one does to Dylan McDermott and Dermot Mulrooney, or Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the Celtics. Certainly, I knew Friday Night Lights there, but my memory of that film was Scamber's bit part had no screen time with Billy Bob. Yeah, I don't think they ever. It's possible they didn't. I'm sure they crossed paths on it.
Yeah, she doesn't need screen time to sink her hooks.
No, that's true. That's a great point. I actually hate that I've been forced to learn anything about Herdzilla's IMDb. Such wasted brain cells, but such a necessary evil for this show.
I'll let you handle that, IMDb.
And then Lauren Marie writes, that was a very good show, very interesting. Thank you, Lauren Marie. Thank you for listening. And now we move on to the last one. We got a lot of quick comments on that one. People really.
We got a lot of comments on the
quick.
last one too. The art.
That's
video.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So this is just yesterday we did this. We get from A. Smith. Oh, this is funny. Johnny should sell finger paintings with his actual cut off finger Great show.
Ugh.
He should do paintings with.
I have a picture of one of his artworks from that finger incident. That's good enough for me. I don't need the in-person blood splatter in my life. Thank you, though. Would I buy it? Probably.
DC, who we know from and love from Radio Gunk,
Mhm.
writes, of all the myriad reasons Arm can use, okay, of all the myriad of reasons Arm can use to support his position as the #1 Johnny Depp fan, the one that solidified it for me was the fact that he
Oh, yeah.
saw the astronaut's wife in the theater 6 times.
Mhm.
Mr. Depp owes you a visit for that alone. I totally agree, DC. You don't know. I mean, you're talking. I saw The Source twice in a West Village theater, which is him on camera for 10 minutes. I saw The Ninth Gate probably 6 times as well. You know,
Mhm.
there's nothing. There's nothing. I saw Before Night Falls, which he has this double cameos in the movie for maybe 10 minutes. I saw that 3 times in the theater in New York, overpaying for that. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much, DC. There's Ms. Boggins again. Hey guys, thanks for the content. I like how even your quick videos are nice and long. That's a backward compliment. There's a clip on YouTube from a while back. Well, Depp is on Ellen, showing being interviewed. That's a great callback. I forgot about the Ellen thing. There's some
I know.
stuff
I
with him and
forgot. I
Ellen we
forgot all
should
about
go
it.
over. If you could just
That's
do
going to be a
the
tough one.
audio, the
That's
audio with like
maybe,
a
yeah,
still
but
next to it.
I don't want to do it without the video. That's the problem. I guess we can figure it out.
Just show him showing her the painting.
Yeah, I could do stills again. It's the last thing I want to do.
Boggins' comment here is phenomenal. Right? I couldn't agree more. There's a clip on YouTube a while back. Depp is on Ellen show being interviewed, and he gives her a painting he'd done of an elephant because she's asked him to paint her a picture previously or something like that. I just remember thinking she doesn't deserve that. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I watched that. Like, she doesn't deserve. Oh God, you're so spot on.
Mhm.
I was exactly what was going through my mind. She does not deserve that. I just remember thinking she doesn't deserve that, and she just conducted a very cringe interview with him, where he looked like he was almost squirming from her dopey questions. I'm glad he's making art. I think it's probably quite calming and healing for his soul.
That's
It
what I
probably
said.
helps. Yeah, you did. You said exactly that.
You mocked me.
No, it's just great minds think alike. I'm a feeble mind. It probably helps
Okay.
steer him away from getting wrecked all the time, too. It
Mhm.
must be a really stressful time for him at the moment. It's probably a good creative way to distract himself. Yeah, I mean, I cook when I do that, too, and read.
Mhm.
I guess those are the 2. Running was a good release for me in a while, but it can only go so far. And you wrote back. You have it in front of you? You want me to read it?
Oh, I don't have it in front of me, so go ahead.
Okay, you wrote her back. I totally forgot to add Ellen in that clip. We could have been dinged. You know, you're right. That is a copyright
Waiting to happen.
SOB. Oh no, her whole. You'd think too with all her abuse stuff that's come out, she'd be pretty liberal about copyright stuff. She's not in a position to. You know what I mean? I'm just lucky to have anybody wanted to see my content.
Mhm.
She's apparently a nightmare. We all know the stories about her. It's all true too, by the way. Her and Howard Stern are the worst people in the world to have as a boss. I totally forgot to add Ellen in the clip, but we could have been dinged for that anyway. We definitely would have been. I agree with you wholeheartedly about the art being something to calm him. Thanks so much for watching. I do, I do want to play at some point. We circle back to the art thing. I don't know how many clips of him, because during the 4-minute thing we played on the new website, it had me having these douche chills of eerie interviews with him, of him going, you know what, I can't go back to music at this point because I'm already famous as an actor and I can't. It would be like, promoting. I have too much respect for my craft to go back and use my fame as an actor. Now, he did this on Arsenio Hall, for crying out loud. He said this. Arsenio actually asked him, do you plan on going back to music? He goes, no, I can't. You know, I could just do concerts in my bathroom. And he was on Arsenio with Tim Burton. He's like, he had that stage fright. I won't do interviews. So he had to be with Tim Burton. This is where those two are just, so homoerotic in a way. And they did Arsenio to promote Scissorhands together right after Jump Street. It's like a 10-minute interview. I think I have that on a hard drive. I think it's still lurking on YouTube, but I got to get it before it goes away because that's something that you're not going to see again. It's one of those rare. And he had not done like a talk show interview for a long time in and around that. I don't think it took him years to go back to a
I would love that.
Okay. And Rock Candy. Welcome to the Deappening family, Rock Candy. Oh, we keep going into Manson territory here. I think Depp's lawyers have told him to avoid commenting on Marilyn Manson. I totally agree with that. I think more than his lawyers. I think many people are telling him that.
Yeah,
he does
smart.
Not want to be he cannot take that. You are who you hang with, right? They both still support each other. Evan, he goes, I call her ERW. Evan, Rachel Wood, and Amber are friends. I didn't realize how they've.
I think they're.
Tell us their history, Rock Candy, when you can. Tell us.
Yeah, Rock Candy can correct me because I know I'm probably not right on this, but I think they're more like Instagram, Twitter friends.
Could be. Course, like girl power friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then they probably saw each other around when the men would get together and do the blow. But
Whitey stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's a best friendship by any means. I don't think she has any best friends because
I know
of the kind of person she is. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I mean I like the Marilyn Manson stuff is a mess. And they're coming out with that documentary that's at Sundance, which is a whole, and that Rolling Stone piece was
I've tried
napalm.
You see so many videos on the Marilyn Manson thing because there's a lull in the Depp stuff right now. So those same channels are just saturating the Marilyn Manson topic. I haven't watched any of them.
It's too specific to be. They're all lying. These 50 broads all got together and they're all. Come on.
I'm not going to say, we know we're talking, this topic of this episode is a liar, but I agree with you. I need to sit down and, force myself to watch a few of these videos maybe and find out what they have as evidence.
Did you read the Rolling Stone article that came out a month ago?
Yes, I did. I did read it. They name
names, they bring receipts.
I know. I want to hear both sides. I'm moderate.
We'll see where it goes.
I hate both sides.
So it goes on. Evans' allegation and the other women after Marilyn Manson stories are like Swiss cheese. Evan has learned and improved on Amber's success of canceling a big-time star, in my opinion. I don't know if I consider Manson even close to his class in international star, and not even close to the beloved nature that Depp is.
In 96, that was no. Okay,
yeah,
most
people would dismiss as Most people would dismiss as a 90s.
I'll be
gimmick.
Kind. It ended in 99 after Mechanical Animals kind of exploded and faded away.
Real super fans are still with him today, which I just don't. The music industry in general is dead. So to know what he's come out with recently, you have to be a real super crazy fan of his to even.
And I gotta say, I can't knock him for his 90s music. I've got every album he put out in the 90s, from Portrait of an American Family through Mechanical Animals, and I just lost interest. But I love those albums, all of them.
But to like I said, last time, Manson did have his back during this whole thing. He, in many different
for a short time until
he defended, until now he can't do it anymore. But he did. He definitely. And Depp has not said one peep.
Yeah.
Anywhere on Instagram. And I'm surprised a journalist hasn't gotten at him somewhere, even at some of these film festivals he's doing to promote Minamata or The Professor or City of Lies. Or
they may be told not to ask.
No, definitely. There's no doubt the PR people are working their asses off to have him
Mhm.
skirted. He cannot be. You are, as I said, you are who you hang with, right? And the last
Mhm.
thing you want is the godfather of your daughter in all this insane abuse. How do you not? How does Johnny himself not know half this shit is going on if you're that close to this guy?
Yep. Just stay quiet.
That's
Just
how it's
stay
going to be
quiet.
framed.
They both need to stay quiet about the other situation.
Pablo Papano, who we love, always has something good to say. By the way, Quentin Tarantino himself is doing NFTs. They
There
all
you
need
go.
money. There's a bunch of people. After he said that, I think somebody had said to me, maybe
Yeah.
it's further on. Kevin Smith, right?
Dumb question.
There's somebody else was. Oh, there's a bunch of people. I'm telling you, it's a new Hollywood trend now that you're going to see this thing, and they're all going to piggyback on each other, and it's going to be this.
You know more
hip
about it
new
than I do, it seems. So my dumb question.
We're all trying to learn this crap now. It's
Okay, but my
so bizarre
question.
we're even in this.
Yeah, my question is: are they all paintings, or is it other projects?
I don't know. Does it have to be paintings?
I have no idea. Somebody will tell me. Okay.
So I write him back when I say, "Hey, good catch, Pablo. I didn't realize that. It's got to be the new Hollywood hip cash grab trend now to appear artistic, yet it's a cash grab." I just on my YouTube feed saw Paris Hilton was on Jimmy Fallon shilling this exact thing. Where there's Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon is where artistic and art go to die.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Where there's Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon is where anything artistic goes to die.
Bravo.
I can't. I mean, right? Paris Hilton. When you're in the same interest as Paris Hilton, we have to rethink the entire career.
Yep.
So there's our MVDV. She writes 3 hours ago. Hello, YouTube keeps deleting my comments. Are you guys
Oh, did she?
tired
Okay.
of me?
Is this a long?
No, of course not. This is crazy. This bothers me so much.
I have a question.
Ha ha ha. I've got a
Before
lot
you
to say.
Okay, before you start, is this long?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's it.
No. Oh, all right. I have.
And then you wrote it back, and you wrote,
Well,
I don't understand this comment thing.
I asked you because I wasn't sure if she was able to post it later. Okay.
It's not here. No, it's as
All
far
right.
as I
Okay.
can see. It's not.
All right. I'll read it.
Okay.
Hello, MV, and I don't know if this is all of them. This is what I got so far. Hello, MVDV here. Since YouTube keeps deleting the truth emoji, I'll leave my comment here. It's going to be a long one, so bear with me. First of all, great episode as always. The sculpture clip was from Beijing. JD was there to promote transcendence. Did you notice the enormous engagement ring on his finger? This was the day he announced the engagement. He claimed the chick ring happened to be too big for Amber, so he decided to wear it himself. I've heard that too, where she didn't like the ring or it was too big and he started wearing it.
I didn't realize that.
It's weird.
If
Okay.
I heard it, I forgot it.
Yeah. Clearly the ring is even too big for Johnny's finger. Now, which jeweler would sell a feminine ring for a giant's finger, especially in that price range?
How
Smells
about a
fishy.
Green Lantern ring instead?
Oh, God.
That's
A woman does not want a Green Lantern ring as an engagement
why
ring.
not? Why not?
No. You want a diamond.
What about a big green diamond?
Actually, just give me
I mean, to fight Sinestro with.
Give me just a band. I don't care. It could be steel. That was my last one. It was steel, stainless steel. Okay. During the period of time, it was one of the very rare occasions of seeing Depp without the chupacabra on his arm. And I thought it would be odd he chose, oh, sorry, my eyes, that particular moment to announce his engagement. Having said that, NFT should have stood for never fuck turds.
So many acronyms, right? MVDV, MP. Now we know what fungible means. Now we know what recalcitrant means. I mean,
I got a couple more.
Says you don't. Okay, keep going.
I don't mean. Sorry, I just didn't want you to move on to something else. Okay, next subject. I love JD's paintings. The bearded man is Julian Schnabel, not Jonathan Shaw.
It's Schnabel. She's right.
Schnabel.
He looks like her. Julian Schnabel is the director of Before Night Falls.
Oh, okay.
And he's like a painter too, so that's his way of getting into the.
Okay, there you go.
He's like a New York based film director, artiste, painter. That's a great cat. He looks like that guy Jonathan Shaw.
Close call, though. We could argue the contribution JD has put into the art. I'm no expert, but isn't pop art more about illustrating / Photoshop? Did JD just add some lines and text? I don't know.
Good question. Good
And then
question. Is he using some computer program? I don't know.
I think so. But she attached that picture of Elizabeth Taylor with the writing over it. The electricity of the eyes, the intensity of a whisper. That's his handwriting. I know that. I'm sure I've seen some of his past art, and it does look like he's traced over a few photos that maybe he's just printed. But yeah, you're right about the pop art. It's all, it's more about the illustrating in Photoshop. Think about Andy Warhol. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh no, she's got me. In 2018, infinitum,
Infinitum Nile. You want
Nile.
to bring this podcast to a halt? Just write Infinitum Nile.
Yeah, I'm done, especially today. Partnered with Pt.2. I'm being set up here. Okay. A cryptocurrency social media entertainment platform. They use the platform Ethereum. And there's a link. This is all on our Twitter too.
This cryptocurrency stuff is.
I don't know. I don't know what
irritating.
It is.
It's so irritating. It's just
I'm so old. I can't get involved in
No,
this.
but it's become this in the last 2 months or so. It's become this omnipresent, ubiquitous thing people are attaching them, celebrities especially. Tom Brady is shilling this on see this commercials on TV and radio.
I zone out.
So,
I've
no,
seen
I know,
enough
but
of them.
every celebrity is attaching themselves to this cryptocurrency now. It's creepy, and I'd love for it to go away. How did we get by all these thousands of years without it?
I don't even know what it is. It scares me. I
It's
have no
probably
money.
some
I'm broke.
international currency you could use so he can get paid from people from the Netherlands.
Maybe.
No,
I know.
How about you pay MVDV $1,000 in cryptocurrency? Your
I've got
stupid
one
vampire cover band, karaoke band.
I got one more here so far. They made
Okay.
Waiting for the Barbarians, Minamata, and Puffins with Ether?
Yeah.
Ether? Okay. God, I'm so dumb. I can hear Hunter S. Thompson laughing in his ashes. Ethereum is one of the worst environmentally unethical cryptos. Making a movie about mercury poisoning with a crypto that's ruining the planet. What the fuck? That's all I got so far. We
There
just
was a
happen to be
review I read.
recording while she's sending these, so I'll get to the rest of them later.
What are the odds of
I know.
that? That's phenomenal.
Okay, so rest of them on the next episode. Promise.
When she said waiting for the barbarians, waiting for my caffeine to kick in.
It doesn't help.
Maybe I should end it with this. Okay. This is I was just I got mad at myself that I was in a bad mood that day. Maybe I just was in a weird mindset. Waiting for the Barbarians is so much better than I could ever, and I need to give it another chance, just like I said with Dark Shadows, and that we'd promised the guy from the Depp Zone that we'd give Dark Shadows another chance. So just to confirm that by myself with this, I just looked up reviews on Waiting for the Barbarians, and this comes up. So this writer, what is his name? Jim Alexander from realtalker.com does a movie review, and he goes, okay, Waiting for the Barbarians. What the hell did I just watch? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Waiting for the Barbarians felt like a grind instead of a couple hours of leisure and entertainment. Top-heavy with star names like Depp and Pattinson. A story and a plot that leaves a lot to be more desired. What's it about? I don't know, really. It's based on a novel from J.M. Coetzee. He's also the writer on the film. The IMDb synopsis does read, a magistrate working in a distant outpost begins to question his loyalty to the Empire. So there you go. Nearly 2 hours of this, 2 hours long, yet they don't give you one sentence of a description. From what I've gathered by watching, Mark Rylance plays the magistrate who is on the verge of retirement from his outpost until Johnny Depp finally drops in and rains on his desert parade. Depp plays a seldomly seen Colonel Colonel Jaw sprinkled throughout some scenes in the movie, mainly at the start and at the end. But don't get your hopes up expecting to see anything significant from Depp here. To put it in a nutshell, Magistrate meets and saves the barbarian woman from who he forms a relationship with, all to the dismay of the British Imperial forces. There you go. The setting looks like it's something out of Lawrence of Arabia crossed with Aladdin, the live-action version. Lots of sand and desert, but it looks like it's the right setting for the story. Credit the cinematographer for that nice work. It looks really good, making it visually presentable and grand. I expected this film to be pretty violent, though, due to the nature of the story, but it didn't have that much of all of that, of course, when you call it The Barbarian. When you throw in the word barbarian in the title, and then you naturally expect some barbaric things to happen throughout. But I guess it just sounded better in the use of the title. The story is just not as seamless and easy to get into at all. I was confused from the very start. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but I still need to be entertained once in a while. Shame on me. And I feel like I understand what I'm watching all the time, but I didn't with this one. Sorry. It's just terribly, terribly slow, and it loses me often. Rylance's performance is stellar, though. He's got a soft-spoken, subtle nuance about him that carries a lot of the power of the film, and he's the rock of the story. Just a fine actor that does his best to keep this movie somewhat afloat. It just bothers me that when movies use big names on the marquee only to find out they make just for glorified cameos in this movie. Then enter Depp and Robert Pattinson, both widely promoted on the poster and trailer, yet extremely hard to find in the movie, especially for the first few minutes of a screen time that Pattinson actually gets. Oh, they got me. They duped me. I still feel kind of cheated. The couple scenes that Depp appears in allowed me to gauge his character as a cross between Mordecai and Edward Ratchet, Murder in the Orient Express. He plays like a mobster. He's actually great in Murder in the Orient. It's a huge cast, but he's in it, and again, he plays a mobster gangster in that, almost like a Lucky Luciano type and Al Capone type. Just phenomenal. He's really good in it. It's a very underrated performance. Okay. So go figure. As far as Pattinson goes, I'll just wait for Batman, I guess. Nothing to comment here on it. If you like watching paint dry and getting hoodwinked by big star names, then sure, go see it. Okay, to be fair, Rylance does deliver a great performance, but it sadly doesn't warrant sitting through at all. Waiting for the Barbarians is one of the slowest films I've ever seen in my life. Not much happens during most of the story. I found myself bored, watching and distracted by everything else around me. The British are coming. The British are coming. Unfortunately, this movie can't come to an end soon enough. Oof.
You're justified, in your opinion.
Very, very much what I was going through watching it.
I'm willing to give Dark Shadows, I haven't even seen it yet, a first chance. I can't.
I'll send it to you.
I can't. Okay, yeah, that's great. I can't with Waiting for the Barbarians. Drive. I can't. I gave it a shot. And I couldn't. I wanted so hard for this to be a fantastic, epic movie. Okay.
If Tracy Jacobs were, she would never let this happen.
I think she says that, doesn't she?
Yeah. Well, more so Transcendence and Mordecai.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think this would be next on the turn down list.
I need to get off of StreamYard before I have a.
Okay. Yeah, we're well over 3 hours, right?
Yeah, I'm fried. So, okay. All right.
Great job, Sarah. Once again, a lot of stuff to fight through. Hopefully, you don't have to do any kind of Catherine Bigelow editing.
I got to do some Billy Bob entering and.
Oh right, I got to get we got to get the Tom Petty thing.
Yeah, and we're gonna put something about Momoa and Heard in somewhere, and that's it. So that's pretty good for something this long. No bathroom breaks.
Would Tom Petty at a podcast in 3 hours and 11 minutes? You think Tom Petty would do this?
Oh, God. This is going to be 5 hours after I get everything added in that you want. So I would try to get this out tomorrow. Okay, thank you everybody for the comments. I want to do maybe this week. Not this week. Maybe in a few weeks we'll do just like a commentary only show.
That'd be great.
Questions and
if we
comments.
have enough, you know.
Yeah, well, they got to come in. They will. So I'll make you a star. Yeah, right. All right. Thank you so much. Great job as always, Mr. Arm. Appreciate you more than you know. All right. Goodbye, everybody.